Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's a party. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got our boy Dietrich in the building. Welcome, welcome. So I started a debate with Andrew Wilson. They played you dirty in the beginning. Indeed, they did. If you have not seen, I did do a debate with Andrew Wilson. And if you just search Andrew Wilson, 5 Atheists, you will find it. And feel it's a shame tactic by being acoustic of something, by being implemented by a threshold of intrinsic value of one's faith. And so we'll get into all of that if you see it. I did cover it on the channel here, and that is just part 1 of 5. So there is a bunch more coming. We also got Nick Luchetti. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Very good to see you guys. How are we doing? So a few days ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene was on with Tucker Carlson, and she's been getting some flack from the Israel crowd. So let's check it out. As always, guys, if you can hear the video, please do let me know.
What happened to you, Marjorie Taylor Greene? I was reliably informed that you were a right-wing extremist, and now I'm hearing from Mark Levin and others that you're a liberal.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
So you've
She's a liberal now.
Liberal?
No,
you haven't.
No, not one bit.
But you are saying things that I've never heard you say before. Of course, we're in a different moment. We're in a moment where, a lot of things that I'll speak for myself that I had zero interest in ever talking about got kind of forced on us because of the wild, unbridled aggression of a few ideologues in Washington, kind of like you just can't avoid the topic.
Right.
So you are a Republican serving in the House. Really the only issue that all Republicans in the House agree on is that Israel is a priority over the United States. They all agree.
Oh, absolutely. They all agree on that.
But you're now saying that you don't think that's true.
No.
How dare you?
And that is a betrayal of the Israel coalition.
Matter of fact, I'm sticking to the campaign promises that I've made from the beginning.
Yes.
America first.
Yep.
That's what I've said the entire time.
And you meant it, I guess.
I unapologetically mean it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And apparently that's shocking.
It kind of is shocking when we see a politician actually stick to what they're saying. Welcome to the party, guys. If you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button. It really, really does help. Let's get into it. We got more.
This is so interesting, Tucker. Since I've become a member of Congress since 2021, we have voted on 22 resolutions for Israel. 22 of them.
20?
All kinds of resolutions.
That sounds like a lot. She said she was in she came in 2020? That's a lot. I don't know how often they vote on
denouncing anti-Semitism, supporting Israel. We voted on 22 of those. We never vote on resolutions proclaiming great things about America or defending certain Americans or defending Americans in general. But we have voted on 22 resolutions in the House defending Israel.
How many of you voted yes on?
I don't know my exact record. The last one I voted no on, and then the one before that I voted present because I just started getting sick of it.
Well, that's kind of it. I've always noticed this, certainly in the last, I don't know how many years it's been, a while, where Republicans in the Congress are, always talking about Israel. I'm not against Israel. I've always liked Israel, so I haven't really noticed it. Okay.
That's what I was going to say when he asked about how many she voted yes on. Just because you are voting in favor of something that may help Israel doesn't mean it's automatically a bad thing, but it's just a little bit too much. Sadly, it's almost a miracle for a politician to keep their word. Unfortunately true.
Fine, love Israel, love any country, whatever. But it feels like something has changed. Like why? And clearly it has for you. What is that thing?
Well, I think here's the situation. It's coming to a point where it's so obvious all the time in everyone's language, the social media posts they put out, the statements that they make. They have to proclaim Israel. They have to proclaim their faith and loyalty in Israel and how Israel is our greatest ally. And it's a statement that has to be made over and over and over again, to the point it's becoming like, wait a minute, what about our own country? What about our own people?
What about America?
And we have so many problems here in America. And we talk about this all the time. $37 trillion in debt. Just like you and I were speaking before, our kids' generations. My kids are 22, 25, and 27. And our children's generation, they can't afford rent. They can't afford to buy a house. They can't afford insurance. They can't buy a new car. They can't find a good paying job. They're living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, credit card bills stacked up. And they literally look to the future going, how am I ever going to realize the American dream?
You can't.
And it seems hopeless for them. But then in Congress, everyone is chasing and pursuing and proclaiming their loyalty to a foreign country. And my goodness, I have nothing against Israel. I wish them well. I wish the people of Israel well. I wish Jewish people well. But I also
exactly. It's just about us first.
also wish every country well. And I want good things for everyone.
So why do you hate Israel so much?
Right?
Yeah.
But, here's what it is. I compare it to, it's like white guilt. We've dealt with white guilt for so many years. And it's.
So what you're saying is that this is wokeness that we're seeing on the right.
It worked? Has it improved anyone's life?
No. And this is a similar thing when in reality, everyone's lives are going to improve here in our country if we just focus on our own country.
Yeah.
And it's really simple.
One of my children just graduated college, and I was talking to her this morning over coffee. She's got 13 friends she's moving to a major American city with. And I know them all. I know them, for her 4 years in college. Great people.
It's got to be a sorority. No, 13 friends that you're moving in somewhere with? That's crazy.
3 have jobs.
3
Yeah,
out of
3
13.
out of 13. And it's not, it's like a real college,
Yeah.
Pretty good college and pretty smart kids. Hard to get into for sure. 3 out of 13. And most of them are from, well-to-do family. They'll be fine. They're not gonna starve to death or anything, but
Right.
that's not good.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We are literally
Well, I mean, if they're with a man who's working, then, not so much of an issue. But if they're going to be girl boss and not have a job, then yikes.
failing our children.
Yeah.
And it's unacceptable. And it's opening the door for so many bad things in America. It's opening the door for Americans turning to voices and turning to leaders that they should never pay attention to.
Exactly.
And it disgusts me. Honestly, I turned a corner this past weekend where I'd had it. I have been in 4 years. My first 4 years was under the Biden administration. And so everything I blamed on Democrats.
Exactly.
And I was absolutely repulsed and disgusted to what happened to our country over 4 years, just like everyone else.
We thought, well, it was the wokeness, right? It was the wokeness. But now we see there's a little bit of that on this side. Shout out to Master Shake. Welcome to the party. I think I am crazy in a good way. I'm definitely crazy. Is it good? I don't know. That is up to you guys. Welcome to the party.
Shocked, angry, and disgusted.
Me too.
And obviously that's why we won in November.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It was a miracle. I mean, people poured out from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and came out and voted for Trump, voted for Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate. So we've been in power for 6 months. And I was so excited in the beginning thinking there's nothing we can't do. Literally nothing we can't do.
And then
But 6 months in, there's literally nothing that we can do. And then we ended up bombing a foreign country. And that upset me so much. And
I said, shit, me too.
And I'm allowed to be upset about it. I can stand here and say,
you are allowed?
well, no, I'm not sure if, not according to Mark Levin and not according to many others, that prioritize another country over our country.
Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said a second ago that when people are really frustrated when the system they live under fails them, they listen to voices that they shouldn't listen to or wouldn't listen to under any other circumstance. Like, how did Al Sharpton get to be the leader of Black America or whatever? I mean, it's like just.
And I think the should there is a lot more important. That people that you otherwise shouldn't listen, or people that you shouldn't listen to, it's a common thing. That it's like, oh, I don't want to listen to that person. I don't want to listen to that person. But the fact that you otherwise wouldn't, and now you are, is a big factor.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate people tend to go to crappy leaders, I think. And I just can't get over what happened in our biggest city this week, the very same week that everybody in DC is focused thousands of miles away on the greatest threat we face, Iran's nuclear program. I want Iran to have the bomb. I'm not pro-Iran. I mean,
No,
obviously.
we're not pro-Iran.
You're not?
Like,
what?
why do we
What? Are you kidding me? I thought you were so pro-Iran.
have to say it?
No,
but
right.
we do.
It's
Yeah,
dumb.
there's the
But at
disclaimer.
the same time
I don't know why I said Iran. I always say Iran.
that everybody was looking to Iran, our largest city had a Democratic primary, effectively the mayor's race, and like 32-year-old socialist who wants government-run grocery stores gets elected. He's going to likely run our biggest city.
Yeah.
into the ground.
And
in the country.
Right, New York.
And it's like, why did that happen? Is it because people are so like desperate for government-run grocery stores, or love socialism, or love like foreign-born midwits running their cities?
I think that's a good question. I would love to see, like, I would definitely cover a podcast on like what are the factors that allowed us to get to Mamdani, because I'm right over the river in Jersey, and I have no idea what the different factors are. Obviously, people are not happy with the right in general because of Trump, but why?
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
That guy was the only person in the New York City mayor's debate to say he wanted to focus on New York City. All the candidates were asked, if you could visit a foreign country, what would it be? And they, of course, all had an answer. I think most said Israel.
Israel, Ukraine.
And he said, I wouldn't go anywhere. I'd stay in New York. And like, if I want to meet Jewish constituents, I go to their synagogues, their homes, or whatever. But I'd be here in New York because that's what I'm doing. I'm running New York. That's my job.
Well, he gave the right answer.
He gave the right answer.
Yeah.
He gave the right answer, at least. And he's talking. I totally oppose his program. Just
Absolutely.
To be clear.
Yeah.
I think it works. But he's talking about economics.
Yep.
And everyone else is talking about foreign policy. Why is it hard to talk about economics, domestic economics?
Because it's boring. It's boring. Got to talk about what's exciting. Otherwise, people just won't care.
I don't know. Apparently, they don't know how to fix it. Well, look who he was running against. He's looking, I mean, the failed mayor, Andrew Cuomo, look at him. He was governor. Yeah. Discussing sexual, all types of accusations.
Yeah.
And killed your grandma by forcing COVID patients into her nursing home. The fact that he was even that he had a chance in this race is already something to discuss. But the fact that he was there, and yet we just, like I said, I would love to hear a conversation about that. Guys, if you're out in the chat, say hello. It's so quiet.
So he was seen as the dirty establishment Democrat, right?
Machine politician.
Right. That really never solved anyone's problems. They already had him, and they still have the same problems.
Right.
They're still poor. They can't afford life. They can't afford to move up in the world.
Exactly.
And so they looked at Andrew Cuomo and was like, why am I going to vote for him? He's not going to make my life better.
No, it's totally
and so they look at this man who's been in our country for 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years.
That's better.
So he's foreign born. He's a socialist, and he's promising to empty the prisons and do all kinds of crazy things. And he's talking to them on their level and talking about the problems they are facing, relating to them with the problems they're facing. So these young people have no choice but to turn to this.
I agree.
And it is a failure. It is literally a failure of the Republican Party. I think the Republican Party has completely failed, and it makes me so angry, Tucker. And I can't.
And this is why you're going to see MAGA split off from the GOP, and the Democrats are going to be a bygone era.
You know, I'm not supposed to speak out, right? I'm not supposed to have my own opinion. I'm supposed
to. Hold on. This is also.
And I can't.
What she's talking about here is another thing where the last time we were covering something where it was all about, well, this source. Actually, it says this and that kind of stuff. And the what she's talking about is very real. And there's no study that's going to say, oh yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually correct about this. It was studied at Stanford and peer reviewed. Yes, science is very important. Studies are very important, but understanding how the world works is, or rather, they're not a replacement for understanding how the world works.
You know, I'm not supposed to speak out, right? I'm not supposed to have my own opinion. I'm supposed to just have blind allegiance to my party, and I'm supposed to cheerlead and rah, rah, rah. But that's not.
That sounds like wokeness to me. Shout out to Crypto Pro Trader. So I need to shit on the street. Well, that's what Indians do, don't they? Unfortunately. Welcome to the party.
Why I ran. That's not why I ran for Congress in the first place. I literally ran because I was mad at Republicans.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still mad at Republicans because it is affecting our children's lives and future. And it's our job to hold our elected leaders accountable. It's my job to hold my colleagues accountable. And if we don't fix these problems to the point where young people are turning to crazy socialists, it's going to get worse. It's literally going to get worse, and it'll be gone. I don't think we could ever get it back.
Well, it's just,
and that's why I don't love to harp on the woke right thing, but when it comes up, I feel obligated to point it out. And the shutting down of discussion, specifically around Israel, is a very woke tactic, and you're seeing it on the right, and that is what is causing people, exactly as she's saying, to look to the wrong people, because other people are actually talking about it. They might be saying some stupid shit, but they are, in fact, saying what they are saying something. And, that's what people want. Let's take a little break. If you guys are enjoying the show, the party rages on 24/7 over in our Discord. The link is pinned to the top of the chat and is absolutely free to join 24/7. We're in there hanging out, having a great time. And guys, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below that video and hit that join button. Starts at $2.99. There's a few different tiers, but $2.99 will get you in. It gets you members only live streams here on YouTube, all that other good stuff. But it opens up the full Discord server. So we've got the free chat that is open to anyone. Anybody can join and talk. But as you can see, that is just one of our channels. There's a bunch of different channels here, including our disciple chat for members only, our word of the day watch party, where we're talking about all this stuff. And of course, we have the voice channel here, where we are hanging out at this moment. Shout out to everybody in the Discord server. Say hello and tell them to come and join. There you go, guys. Simple as that. See you there. And remember, guys, all that stuff beyond the free chat is for members only. So if you click that link at the top of the chat, you are in. But if you click it while the stream is live, you get a day pass for the entire server, and you can join that after party with us. Come on through.
.com. Fox News tells us that the real threats are abroad, or they're Iranian sleeper cells in the United States. It seems to me the real threat to the United States is the collapse of its cities, of its population centers, where the most people live. I don't live in a city, don't want to live in a city because they suck.
Yeah.
But in a normal country, I would live in a city. And so would you?
Sure.
Of course. So I don't understand.
And you see how in other countries, the city is not, it's like, there's not such a stark difference between like 10 minutes outside the city and the downtown area. Sometimes there is, but that's not the standard. In America, it does seem that, at least with the bigger cities, that they're not good places. They're not clean, they're not safe, and there's exceptions, but not good.
Understand how we spent the last 25 years fighting all these wars, obsessively focused on our enemies abroad, jihadis, or whatever. They're telling us the threat is white supremacists under Biden. And the country has not gotten better.
No.
It's like maintaining the empire has destroyed the republic. It does feel that way.
Oh, 100%. But we have to look at what the struggle we're dealing with. So I think it's very interesting to look at the pattern in place. So 2016, America rose up, and I was one of those little people. And we rose up and turned to one man because he was different. On a stage of 17, he was 100% different than the other 16. And he spoke our language and cared about issues. We were like, oh my gosh, we've never heard a politician say this before. So we elected Trump. Literally. And then President Trump went into his first administration totally unaware of what he was getting into. I mean, who could know? If you're coming from the outside, how could you know how that system works?
And to be fair, that is not an excuse. That is not an excuse. Once you've been hired for a job, you're expected to know that job. But it is a true statement, and so it's not enough to hand wave mistakes that Trump made in his first term, but it is okay to understand that, like, hey, he just didn't know any better.
I didn't know. And so then President Trump thought, hey, everyone's supporting me now. I won the election. All Republicans should get behind me. We're all going for the same thing. But no, they stabbed him in his back. People in his administration were horrible. They threw him under the bus, allowed him to be investigated and accused of horrible things. The people stood with him, but we watched the establishment try to beat him back. Then the election was stolen in 2020. Then January 6th happened. The establishment roared back again and tried to take back the Republican Party, take it back and take control. The people didn't let it happen, though. The people were like, no, we do not want to go back to the neocon ways. We don't want to go back to the failures of the leadership of the Republican Party.
No, thank you. Guys, also don't forget about that swole goal. You got to pump me up. Look how tiny I am. Every $2 equals a swole stream push-up. Shout out to King Nirvana. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir.
Ways. We don't want to go back to the failures of the leadership of the Republican Party. So then we saw what happened. He got more powerful. They were prosecuting him. 34 indictments. They found him guilty. They tried to kill him twice. They put him in jail, giving him that iconic photo. And then
one like equals one. Fight. Hell yes. Shout out to Senior Emma. Welcome to the party. Oh, is that a Palestinian flag? Interesting. Okay. All right. We are welcome of all ideologies here. Welcome to the party.
Twice. They put him in jail, giving him that iconic photo. And then we elected him again, but it's the same thing. You know what's happened? The establishment and the neocons, the ones that tell us that they're America first. Oh, we're not. We're fake MAGA. Fake MAGA.
Projection. They are the fake ones. They are the woke ones.
They're the ones that have figured out how to dress up in an America First costume and put on a MAGA hat. And
oh, you mean virtue signaling? Something that the woke does all the time?
now they speak our language perfectly. They have the dialect down, they know the lingo, and they know how to talk like us. But
so maybe a little bit of semantic obfuscation. Guys, head over to TheIndianJesus.com to get your very own Stop Semantic Obfuscation. We got a phone case, we got a button, we got I just did the phone case, we got a mouse pad, all that stuff, and you can get any of these designs, all of them, at TheIndianJesus.com.
they're not us at all. And I think that's what we saw happen over the past week when we bombed Iran. We saw the whole establishment rear its ugly head, and it's bigger than we could have imagined. And I think it was fully exposed. And to me, I looked at that and I went, wow, it's worse than I thought.
Yep, I agree. Shout out to a Maverick being Frank. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Said, sign mine, deport all atheist petition. I'm good. I like America. Thank you.
Because you want to know something, Tucker? We only have President Trump for a few more years.
Mm-hmm.
And just a few.
MAGA is bigger than Trump. And that is a good thing because he's only got 3 more years.
Few more years, we're going to have to elect another president, and we're going to all have to turn and find a new leader that will share our values and fight for them. That's going to be very hard because we're going to have to fill shoes that are very big, very difficult to fill. And we've had President Trump now for all these years, and so many people are going to be disappointed because you're not going to have another Trump. There's not going to be one.
True. But given all the work that has been done over the past 10 years, we don't necessarily need another Trump. And I would argue that, maybe by 28, Trump is going to be, hanging on way too long. He was always the bull in the china shop that we needed. But if we want to rearrange that china shop into something, then the bull's got to get out so we can fix whatever it is we want to fix. Shout out to Richard Hardy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Very good to see you. We also got PJ. I am indeed the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party, guys. Very good to see me. Very good to see you.
So many people are going to be disappointed because you're not going to have another Trump. There's not going to be one. And I think it's the most dangerous time for people like us that truly care about our country, love our children, and want to fix the problem so that their lives can be better. And I think we're going to face a real fight within our party to make sure that that we're pushing the focus to focus on America, focus on our problems, and just let the world do its thing. We can have great trade deals.
Yep, we don't need to be world police. So, guys, make sure you check out the poll right now. It reads, Marjorie Taylor Greene is crazy in a good way, crazy in a bad way, or not crazy. And right now, we are split between good way and bad way. So get your thoughts in. That's what I'm saying. Well, let's move on. Let's move on from Trump. I love Trump, but he's done what he's needed to do. And on a more serious note, like, there is just so much that you can be ahead of the game. Eventually, Democrats, other Republicans are going to catch up to the pioneering that Donald Trump has done in the political space. So it's just, you can't, it won't last forever. It won't last forever. Of course, PJ, I am here to hang out with you guys. So thank you for being here.
We can do all these things, but it's going to be very hard to push that system in place because I really think in the past week I realized that that's not who they are. They said it on the campaign trail. They promised it.
Okay, fine.
When they got elected, and a whole bunch of others, the talking heads on TV, they all pretended. But in the past week, I was like, nope, it's not real.
Yeah. So the question is, do the people who really do care about the United States give up and leave, the party, the movement, or not? I mean, New York City was built by... I
wasn't sure what you were saying, leave the country? No, hell no. But leave the party? Hey, if there's a new MAGA party starting that's going to rival the Republican Party, sign me the fuck up. Dilly, do that. PJ said, I have lots to say. Well, you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever you go by, are in the right place. We all waffle a little bit, right?
Hardworking, sober Christian people, and they built this amazing.
I mean, we ain't gotta be sober, all right?
Amazing city, and then of course they all left because it became chaotic starting in the 60s, and they're all gone. That's why you get the election results you do.
Yeah.
They just ran away and they moved to the suburbs or Montana or wherever. They have a tendency. Productive people have a tendency to do that. They don't stay and fight. They do I don't want to deal with this. I'm out.
Been there before me. Like, really hot and loud. I bet it smells like shit. I'm Indian American. I was born here. My parents are from the West Indies. That's the Caribbean. So yes, I am the Indian Jesus. I very much am Indian, but I don't stink.
Have a tendency. Productive people have a tendency to do that. They don't stay and fight. They do I don't want to deal with this. I'm out.
Yeah, they don't have to stay in the fight.
Well, that's true. But do you see that happen with America First? Do you
Shout out to X. Welcome to the party. He said, fuck Israel. And I completely agree. Now, if you were to say, fuck the Jews, I would have been like, oh, come on. But that is why we attack ideas and not people, and governments, not citizens. Welcome to the party.
And the fight.
Well, that's true. But do you see that happen with America First? Do you, in 5 years, are people going to be like, when Mark Levin and Laura Loomer built America First with Tom Cotton and Lindsey Graham,
right?
They're the heroes of the movement,
right?
Like this.
Are they though?
Soviets redefined the Bolshevik Revolution to make, Stalin the head of it.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Laura Loomer is America First.
Right.
Except Israel first.
But is that going to happen?
Well, in the Ben Shapiro way of thinking, you are America first because America is Israel first.
America first.
Right.
Except Israel first.
But is that going to happen? Do you think that people who really think that we need a government that focuses on the country it represents, will those people stick around and say, no, I'm sorry, you can't. I can see through your skin suit. I know who you are.
Richard said, what is Zionism? It's the belief that they're God's chosen people, aka superior. Sounds like white supremacy or Middle Eastern supremacy or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, completely agreed. PJ said, I'm a lefty and I can't believe I'm agreeing with MTG and Tucker in regard to funding Israel. Hey, the left-right paradigm has been shattered. We are in a new world. Hey, shout out to Funk Master General. Welcome to the party. Coming in hot with the $20. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for the co-host, the Overlord Morty. What does Funk Master say? I love waffles. Bet the Overlord does it too. Yep, you should probably make waffles for the Overlord. That is a good idea. I should definitely do that. Welcome to the party. Of course, guys, remember, we do have that swole goal. I am so tiny at the top of the chat. Every $2, if we hit the goal, is a push-up that I have to do for you guys at the end of the stream. So help bulk me up. Thank you, and welcome to the party. We also got Jesus is God in the building. So Jesus never had long hair, by the way. It's a sin. Oh, well, there you go. Everybody saying that I'm mocking Jesus. I'm not mocking anybody. People think that. Yeah. Welcome to the party. Jesus is God. And PJ said, I found the like button. Thank you. That really does help so much. Absolutely. I do that. I turn the chair, go right over there. I play the rock out music. And I do them right in front of you. So every $2 is a push-up. We had 50 on the last one, and it was rough. Indeed, you did. This is Morty, a.k.a. the Overlord, and my co-host. He's almost 15 years old, and he has been with me since day one. He is the one true Overlord. All right, let's dive right back in. Well, okay, fair enough. But a lot of people do say that I mock Jesus. And I put out a video the video I just dropped about bringing Christians and atheists together. I put that on TikTok, and somebody was like, why are you mocking Jesus? I'm like, who's mocking Jesus? I'm like, of course it is a tongue-in-cheek mock of the fact that I look like what people think Jesus looked like, but Indian. But it's not that deep. But there was an assumption. I'm like, why are you not assuming that I'm an atheist who reveres Jesus Christ? And that's why I'm using, using the name. No, I know that, but I am with that. I like what PJ said, but the other thing is that the assumption was the issue. If somebody were to be like, hey, why is your name the Indian Jesus? And I would say, well, because some people get really upset about it, and I'm trying to have deep conversations about this stuff, and so I want to filter out the people who can't get past the name. Then you could be like, well, that's horrible. Okay, fine. But you know what happens when you assume?
Around and say, no, I'm sorry, you can't. I can see through your skin suit. I know who you are. This is all fake. You can't use my government, my military to prosecute these silly sectarian wars anymore.
Right. I don't know. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know. I think it goes one of two ways.
They can kick you out, then I think we'll know the answer.
Oh, for sure. They would love to. They're already trying to. I had 3 reporters, literally. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. 3 reporters, one from Punchbowl, one from Axios, and one from the Wall Street Journal.
Great places to get news.
And I know who they're connected to people. And they came and they were asking me the same stupid questions, trying to make this like she's betrayed Trump. She's broken up with Trump. She's turned her back on him.
That's because they're woke and they think that woke tactics like that will work on people that are not woke.
Which couldn't be further from the truth, but they're setting the stage because they want these headlines, right?
So the Wall Street Journal is now kind of looking out for Trump.
Oh, totally. Yeah, the Wall Street.
Just enforcing loyalty in the Trump ranks.
Yes. Yeah. And Punchbowl, obviously. And
they're very concerned.
Yeah. And
I don't want to see any leaking or disloyalty against Donald Trump.
Those are MAGA publications, let me tell you.
It's too funny. It's too unbelievable.
But it's so.
Thank you so very, very much for the likes, guys. Again, that really, really, really does help.
It's so predictable.
I know, but I do think and one of the reasons I'm so grateful that you flew all the way from your real job to come see us is that I think it's important to know whether you're going to fight for the movement that you've been in since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about whether or not Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to fight for the movement that she's been in since 2016. We only just jumped in.
And are really identified with. When you got to Congress, you were so for Trump and his ideas that your own party tried to expel you from the Congress.
Exactly. Literally.
I think that was tongue-in-cheek as well.
Hated Trump.
Oh, they still hate him. I serve with so many people that hate his guts. Hate him.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I have argued with them so many times. I'm like, I love him. I love the man. I don't care about his flaws, whatever. I love him. Yeah. I love his fight. Yes. I love his passion. I love the fact that you cannot beat him. He will beat anybody and he will not give up. And that's what I love about President Trump.
And the thing is that I would never say, I love Donald Trump, because I don't. That's not the way that I feel about him or what he does. I think that he is somebody that is uniquely poised to do the job that needed to be done from 2015 to 2028. That's it. But I feel very strongly that is in fact the case. Shout out to Skipper Russell in the building. welcome. So Trump's a genius. Just ask him. Oh, I bet he would tell you. Welcome, Skipper. Very good to see you guys.
Cannot beat him. He will beat anybody and he will not give up. And that's what I love about President Trump.
Yeah.
But I serve with people that hate him. And right now they're having to do the dance. They have to play the game. They have to say the words, and they're all pretending. They're literally pretending, and they can't wait.
Oh, more virtue signaling from people on the right. Oh, so we can be woke on the right.
To them right now, President Trump is a speed bump. They just have to get past that speed bump.
That's me.
And then they will. It's only a few years away. They just have to play the game long enough and do the deed and not get a Truth Social put out on them,
right,
or have him, primary them or endorse an opponent against them. They have to do that. And then after that, it's going to be back to business as usual. Because you wouldn't believe it. Like the bills that we're putting together, the lobbyists that are coming in, tucking in what they want, big donors. Oh my goodness. The donors that came on board in this last election.
Donor? I barely even know her.
donors, totally different donors than we've
Sorry.
ever had before. These big, like the AI tech bros, cryptos come around. There's a whole circle of donors that have all come around. Those aren't the only ones. And then you always have the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
All of them have come around and they're demanding.
You guys, you could say whatever YouTube will let you say. YouTube will clamp down on some of the stuff and not let you post stuff. And then, certain things, if I don't necessarily love it, then I won't pull it up. But you can say whatever you want to say. All I do ask is that when we are talking to each other, keep the chat respectful. Attack ideas and not people.
Demanding their little things. And that's what they have all tried to tuck into the one big beautiful bill. So it's business as usual in Washington.
It's always been that way to some extent, of course. Always But
I was told that the entire political landscape was going to be blown apart by Trump and that we would never get back to any type of normalcy. Oh, they were wrong.
I find different from what I thought it was anyway, is this obsessive love of violence.
Mm-hmm.
That, like Tom Cotton, you could have dinner with him and disagree on anything. But if you raise a voice against bombing people, like Tom Cotton is upset. Like he wants to be able to kill people, period.
Yeah, I know a lot of my colleagues want to kill people.
What is that?
I think it's a darkness. We're a country.
And it also, shout out again to Bugmaster General. Sorry, I forgot to up the banner there. But I mean, it's kind of hard not to see it as like, I got a small dick, so I want to blow shit up. Just saying.
What is that?
I think it's a darkness. We're a country. Think about our culture. Ever since I was a little kid, we had movies that we saw movies where Russia's the bad guy and the hero in the story defeats the bad Russian, or there's a war movie where we defeat Russia or China, or it's whoever the bad guy is.
Yes.
And then the movies where we had war movies of defeating Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran.
Shout out to Matthew King in the building. Welcome. So you mentioned Israel in the thumbnail, in the title. The thumbnail is just, how dare you? But yeah, we got a bunch of new guys here. If you are new, welcome. Please do hit that subscribe. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So please don't only hit that subscribe, but ring the bell so you never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. Welcome to the party. Matthew King, always a pleasure to see you, sir.
Where we had war movies of defeating Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, all these movies. And we've grown up with Hollywood telling us who the foreign bad guys are.
Yes.
Yep.
And making these people our complete enemies and never humanizing them. And so, yes, and there's this obsession with war and killing and murder.
Yes.
And that is sick. It's sick that America is cheering that we bombed another country. Now,
the desensitization. Shout out to Adi80. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Said, why are Indian Christians a bunch of Zionists? Oh, wait, they were converted by the American evangelicals. I mean, I wasn't aware that a lot of Indian Christians are a bunch of Zionists, but being converted by American evangelicals definitely makes sense to me. Welcome to the party.
It's sick that America is cheering that we bombed another country. Now, okay, let's look at that. Yes, Iran.
Especially the people who were cheering on the no new wars president.
Is that they sponsor terrorism. They have killed our military, but our military never belonged over in the Middle East in the first place. I'll argue that all day long. But however, when people that hold power in Washington, D.C., like I do, but everyone I work with is just over the top excited that we may be going to war to kill people. They never think about the innocent people, or they don't care about the innocent people.
It makes them feel powerful. I have noticed there's a connection between the internal weakness in a person and
Is this an inside joke about me? And my one day as a pool boy?
enthusiasm for killing. So I've always wondered, like, why is it the people with the weirdest, most unhappy personal lives?
Weird.
And I'm really trying not to be mean, so I'm gonna not use names. But boy, I know a lot of them just living there my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
They're the most enthusiastic about exerting force on other people, including like children and villagers and stuff. It's like really dark.
And you think about people who practice martial arts, those are the people that are usually least likely to be out in public and want to start shit. Or even if, they find themselves in a situation, they want to de-escalate. It's the dudes that don't know jack shit about shit. They're like, yeah, I'll fucking take you out, bro. I'll fucking take you out. You wanna go? You wanna go? I think it's the same thing here. We have insecure people who don't understand the strength of our culture and feel the need to overcompensate. I don't know. Shout out to Yuri. I'm not sure what that means, but it doesn't seem too off kilter. So welcome to the party. PJ said the Western media has portrayed black and brown folk as the terrorists for many decades now. It's not true. America is or are the biggest terrorists in the whole world. It's hard to disagree. It is hard to disagree with that. Our government does love us some war.
It makes them feel powerful. Like you almost never see a strong man get excited about killing.
No.
You see strong men who kill, but they always have mixed feelings.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say? What
I love being right.
Feelings about it. I had to do it. You know, about killing.
No.
You see strong men who kill, but they always have mixed feelings about it. I had to do it.
Boycott, divest, sanctions for world peace. I like it.
But
Yeah, or we're ordered to do it. I met just this morning with one of my counties. They came up to visit me, and so we had this great breakfast and met with everybody there. And two different groups that were in the big group were veterans groups. And they were literally telling me this morning about how many veterans they are working with that live with the horrors in their mind of what they did, kicking in doors, going into some family's home, searching for enemies and terrorists. And, some of them killed the father of the family in front of their children. Mm-hmm. These are the horrors that our brothers, cousins, uncles, fathers, friends live with for the.
And I think this is from a movie. Like I don't know if it's American Sniper or one of those, but one of the semi more recent war movies. Or maybe I heard it from somewhere else. I don't remember. But they were talking about how they would be going down this road and there was a kid and they would stop to get the kid out of the way so they don't roll over and kill the kid. And then the kid's got an ID strapped to them. So they, it became the the policy. Hey, if there's a kid standing in the road, run that little motherfucker over because he's going to try to blow you up.
There's cousins, uncles, fathers, friends live with for the rest of their life, and they cannot function. They cannot have a normal life. Their marriages fall apart. They turn to drugs and alcoholism. They can't keep a job. And this is what it has done to them. So Tucker, I totally agree with you. I don't know what is wrong with America that anybody cheers that on.
The two issues that people are completely unreasonable about, literally unreasonable, reason doesn't enter into it. It's just such strong emotion that it'll end friendships or start friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Funk, I just saw that. Well, okay, I was going to say it looked like it hurt, but apparently
all of a sudden, Bill Kristol praising the Trump administration, our war and abortion.
Yeah.
And it's the power that people feel when they kill is I think it's the most alluring power there is. More powerful than sex, more powerful than money.
Well, evidently, or at least, I don't know if that's the right word, but the fact that people will celebrate and get that powerful feeling from other people doing it kind of speaks to exactly what he's saying. Shout out to Kate Bates. Welcome to the party. IOF. Don't know what that means, but welcome to the party.
Being able to take a life makes you feel like God. And then for a lot of people, like Lindsey Graham, it compensates for a hollowness inside, a lack of a successful life, no family, et cetera, whatever. I don't want to be Freud here, but it's the weakest people who are the most excited to take a life. Have you? I just can't get past it.
I think that's accurate. Yes, I would say that's accurate. I would just also say, what is wrong with our culture? How did we get to this place? Because honestly, okay, it doesn't matter what country it is in the world. Those people are responsible for their government. If they want to tear it down, they will tear it down. I mean, that's a historical fact. Any group of people, if they hate their government enough, they will tear it down. So if those people want to tear down their government, God bless them, let them do it. But it's not our job to do it. Now, Israel wants it to be our job.
Of course.
They want regime change.
Yep.
And that is their goal. And that's why we're seeing propaganda back on the news that now Iran is months away from having a nuclear weapon, rebuilding their program and having a nuclear weapon.
Fantastic. All right, PJ, this is where we're going to start to diverge. Said capitalism doesn't work for most folks. Socialism is the best system for the largest amount of people. Good to see Zorhan win New York and even say he's not a fan of capitalism and out loud. Well, I'm always willing to be wrong, but let's see where New York City is over the next few months. I am not excited to see what happens, but hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I know what debt is. I don't know what the sentence debt to IOF means.
Because we have to go right back to it. They've been saying that since the 1990s. So they have to say it again over and over and over again. But that's what they want. And they want America to be drug into it. I got to
because the doomsday clock is at 7 seconds to midnight. Whatever that means.
tell you, it was the coolest thing this past week when I took a really hard stance and I said, I'm totally against this. This is literally what we campaigned on not doing. And here we're doing the thing we said we wouldn't do. Like, why are we doing the thing we said we wouldn't do?
Oh, shut up, Marjorie. Just go along with it.
That's what I was told.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet you were.
Literally, shut up, Marjorie.
And so the Republicans are the ones who are going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. And the MAGA people are going to be the ones that be like, no, fuck you. I'm here to do something. It might not be in this next election. It might not be in the next 10 years. But that mentality, now that Trump has been that bull in the china shop, now that he has shown that that can be a way that government works, that people vote, that people think in society, you can't put that back in the box.
I get that a lot. But no, this was so crazy to me. We're doing the thing that we said we wouldn't do. And when I spoke out against it, it was like just what you described. Two sides raging on the issue. Yes. The one side that was like, yes, we will defend Israel. We will defend them no matter what, against anyone. We'll send our children to die for them. We'll take all the nuclear bombs upon ourselves before we let anything happen to Israel. So we have that whole side. And war.
What is that?
I don't know.
Delusion. PJ said, IJ, that is also fine. My name is Lutch, if you'd like to call me whatever you'd like to call me. What would you describe yourself politically? Well, I think I'm MAGA and America first. I voted for Trump for the first time in 2024. I did not vote in 2020 because I was horrified at myself for being convinced to vote for Hillary in 2016. So I think when I took the political compass test, I was almost dead center with a little bit to the right, but very high into the libertarian quadrant or whatever you call it. So I used to be like a default liberal, and that's how I felt. I was a Bernie bro, and then I just realized that there was too much bullshit with the liberal culture as well as the Democratic politicians. Not that Republican politicians, as we're seeing, are any better, but I think that cultural aspect does have a big impact. Hell yeah. I mean, we did just cover Bernie on where it was on Rogan, yeah, and I was not happy with him, but we live and we learn. Shout out to RN. Welcome to the party. Said MAGA is not going to stand up to Israel. Okay. So what does that mean? What does that amount to?
Anything happened to Israel. So we have that whole side. And war.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. And then we had the whole other side, which was all these people that came out of the woodwork from all over the place. Democrats, liberals, progressives, Republicans, MAGA, America First, flooding in. And it was an all range of things. As the MAGA and America First people was like, I agree with MTG. She's right. And then you've got the people on the left are going, oh my God, what is happening to me? This is the end of the world. I'm agreeing with MTG. Like they're doing mental gymnastics.
Shout out to PJ. Exactly what he was saying. We got Amanda Price in the building. Welcome to the party. Hope you are doing well as well. Funkmaster General says, capitalism works for those that aren't lazy. Stop being lazy instead of voting for destructive politicians. Bingo. I agree, and that triggers a little side quest. So on my Twitter, where was it? So I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw
by
this.
2020.
Hold on. So let's just watch it without context, and then let's see what we got here. Well, so I mean, this is not a news channel. This is a channel about communication and discussion. So my goal here is to get people who disagree with each other better at articulating their own ideas, so that they can be better at communicating with other people and understanding. I think that's the only way that we move forward. So I wouldn't call myself a centrist. I think a lot of people would. But I think I think I fall more into libertarian camp more than anything. But I am a big supporter of Trump now, and I wasn't always. And thank you for being here, guys. If you are new, please do hit that subscribe button. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, it's not that. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so very much for being here. So yeah, I saw this on the Tickety Talk.
No by 2025. This is something that everybody's talking about right now. And honestly, I'm starting to get on board with it, man. I've always considered myself pretty anti-capitalism, but for some reason, I buy into it every single day. I do not stop myself from consuming way over my means, whether it's getting drinks at Dutch Bros or going and buying something at the store. I don't even have to go to the store. It's just go to the store and
I agree, PJ. It is it's not very common that we have people on the left come in and being willing to be open. Shout out to Box, who is usually our resident lefty. There's a few, but yeah, the thing is that by being an atheist and being MAGA, there's a lot of different. I don't fit squarely into any of these boxes. So, but I definitely was on the Bernie to Trump pipeline. Hey, maybe we'll set something up. Hey, we got another lefty. He said, I'm on the left and happy to debate any issue. Well, welcome to the party, guys. That is what we are doing here, bringing everybody together. And so I might just say some shit that you don't like, but I want to hear what you think about it. So, I don't know if you heard, but this guy already brought up anti-capitalism, which I wasn't sure where he was going with this. I had not heard of No Buy 2025.
Whether it's getting drinks at it every single. Honestly, I'm starting to get on board with it, man. I've always considered myself pretty anti-capitalism, but for some reason, I buy into it every single day. I do not stop myself from consuming way over my means.
Yep. MAGA atheist, baby.
Whether it's getting drinks at Dutch Bros or going and buying something at the store. I don't even have to go to the store. It's just go to the store and look for something to buy. It comes from boredom. It comes from, dopamine, like a need for dopamine, which is crazy because this phone and everything that we do on it is all about getting dopamine hits. Constantly, we are advertised to and told on, this app or, an advertisement, whatever the case may be, that we need to buy something. We are without. We need this thing. And I'm just so tired of it. And so this is how I'm thinking about everything, right? It is 2025. And I am 36 years old. In less than 4 years, I will be 40 years old. In the last 5 years, I really figured out what I want to do with my life, the dreams that I have. I'm still currently expanding on those. And while I'm on the journey, because my deadline is when I'm 40 to reach these goals that I want. By 2030, I'm calling this Project 230. I want to be at the place I want to be at physically, mentally, financially.
So that's the long and short of what he's saying, and just I want to do this and that. Just expressing that. And so in the comments, somebody was saying, I used to think that, and I used to be anti-capitalist, but then I shifted my perspective, and I just started to try to be a minimalist. And yeah, we just sped that one up. He's talking a little bit slow. We're watching the MTG at 1.15. I can't take normal speed. Anyway. So, yeah, this guy in this guy's comments, it's talking about I've been a minimalist, and I've just started to ask myself before I spend money, do I need this? And the guy comments, the guy in the video comments, I need to do this. I'm like, what? You don't? You're ready to take down capitalism, but you haven't asked yourself. So I said, yeah, is it just me, or does this sound like privileged liberal cope? Oh, I have such a hard time not buying things I don't need. It's capitalism's fault. And like I just said, guy in the comments said, stop thinking of anti-capitalism, being a minimalist, asking, do I need this? And he literally, this was his comment. I was like, didn't you didn't think to just not buy random shit before you jumped into capitalism bad? And then it's like, yeah, I can't afford to be just buying shit I don't need. It must be nice. I mean, we all have our vices, whatever. And so then,
and clearly we have.
Oh yeah, so this was his comment. I need to do this.
I want to ask this genuinely, and clearly we have different political views, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm coming at you, and there's no way to avoid that through text. I'm just going to do the video. So for anybody else watching, you made a video about being anti-capitalist, and by 2030, when you're 40, you want to be able to reach all your goals, and you started off talking about anti-capitalism, and but you buy into it every day. And then someone commented, instead of looking at it as capitalism bad or anti-capitalism, just think about what in those purchases, do I need to do this? And you've responded, I need to do this. So my question to you is, why does your mind go to capitalism before you've decided to put an extra behavioral thing on your own decisions? Again, I'm not coming at you. I'm genuinely trying to understand, because I would never think that way. And maybe I'm wrong. But I just want to understand, what is it specifically that you are not, because I'm 35, I'm right behind you, and working on my goals as well. I'm in the same boat. But all the changes that I've made to try to get closer to that goal have been about things with me. And part of that goal is having a YT channel that talks about politics. So I definitely have issues.
That's
with
you guys,
the system and all that stuff. But all of it starts with our own decisions. And I'm just curious why you didn't think I need to be better at spending before we talk about capitalism, as if capitalism isn't the main purveyor of bringing people out of poverty. It's not to say that just because capitalism has brought millions of people out of poverty that there can't be issues with it. I'm curious as to the line of thought to how you get to this is on capitalism before you're like, well, I need to change this. I want to ask this.
I did not understand where he was coming from. Of course, I did not get a response. I'm still waiting. Maybe I will have something to learn, but it doesn't make sense to me that to be anti-capitalist. PJ said, I've absolutely no desire for money. There's nothing I want or need, really. I kind of agree with that. I mean, I have stuff that I want, to live a comfortable life. As long as I have a roof over my head, a bed to sleep in, food to eat, bills are paid, Wi-Fi, the basics, then I'm not out, just buying stuff and things, because it's just like, well, I don't go shopping, and it's not that hard. It's just a matter of realizing that you're not going to find happiness just by buying more stuff. And RN said, why do these two things need to be put against each other? Read the video. Working on yourself is great, and being responsible is good, and capitalism is crushing Americans needlessly. Well, and that's kind of why that was my confusion. That was my confusion, because if you're at a stage in life where you're saying, I need to be better at spending, then why are you prefacing the video talking about being anti-capitalist? I just didn't get it. Bugmaster General said, who doesn't achieve their goals? People that live in socialist and communist countries. Yep. All right, I'm back in.
Genuinely. And
nope. I'm back.
This is the end of the world. I'm agreeing with MTG. Like, they're doing mental gymnastics because they're agreeing with me. And it was hilarious, but they're flooding my office with phone calls agreeing with me. And I'm sitting here going, hey, Republicans, remember we said we weren't going to do this? Imagine how much support we could have if we stuck with it. Like, if we
imagine that
we actually stuck with what we said and actually meant it, because now there's a lot of people that feel betrayed that we didn't stick with that.
I know.
And that's not what President Trump wants. Absolutely, that's not what he wants. He's and I have to give him all the praise and credit.
Well, I mean, even if that is what Trump wants, that's not what the fuck I want. That's not what the fuck I want. I want what you promised me. I want the person that you were through those 4 years, not starting any wars.
It's not what he wants. He's and I have to give him all the praise and credit. He bombed them and then he pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
That's
God.
What he said.
And I loved it when he dropped the F-bomb, talking to the press, and he was like, both of them have gone crazy. I was like, inject this in my veins right now. This is exactly what I want to hear. But it was
he said a bad word. I love him.
Two major reactions that blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind.
I'm not entirely surprised. I've seen that. it is a kind of weird feeling to be praised by people you disagree with on everything or think you disagree with them. Like, who knows? I don't know. Everything is kind of up for grabs. I'm against killing people.
Yeah.
Who,
Shit, me too.
innocence. I'm just opposed. I'm totally opposed to abortion. I think euthanasia is one of the worst most evil things I can think
Me
of.
too. I agree.
And I think wars of choice are really evil. That's my view.
Yep.
But
RN said, okay, if this is a MAGA crowd, this is a good crowd to ask. Do you guys differentiate between 1.0 and 2.0? And do you have a preference between the two? I would say 1.0 was better than this iteration. I think, yeah, Trump 1.0 versus Trump 2.0. So it makes sense to me that you prefer the 1.0 because I prefer 2.0 because it seems like he learned from 1.0. And there is, I think, a lot of the issues that we have with 2.0 were also issues with 1.0. And like his ego, his willingness to just kind of throw things out there to see how people react and not really care about the accuracy of some of these things. Those are issues both with Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0. But there's issues with surrounding himself with the wrong people. That was definitely worse with 1.0. But that is a very good question. So let's make that a poll. Which do you prefer? Trump 1.0. Oh, that's not O. Or Trump 2.0. Good question. Good question. I have no idea where this is going to go. I have no idea where this is going to go. Trump 1.0 versus 2.0. No, this is what we do, brother. This is what you do. This is exactly what we are doing. Aaron said, is it just that the immigration is way more this time? That would make sense to me from your perspective. That's definitely a part of it. Definitely an aspect of, the border was an issue. He, from the beginning, he, it was about build the wall, build the wall, build the wall. And as much of the wall did get built, that kind of seemed to be put on the back burner, and he lost that. And they were able to, it was all executive orders and stuff. And now he's just going straight for it with people like Tom Homan, which is going back to my other point about surrounding himself with the right people. So I prefer 2.0. What do you guys think? Hit that poll.
I think wars of choice are really evil. That's my view.
Yep.
But what's interesting.
Well, right. But he was always willing to cuck us to Israel. So that's a non-starter between Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0. It just so happens that, the things hadn't popped off yet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Funkmaster General again with the $20 and the treat for Marty the Overlord. So I'm giving you $20 because capitalism. Well, dilly to that. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Guys, we are only $10 away from hitting that goal. We are only $10 away. Thank you. So very, very much, of course, out sponsoring yourself. Thank you so very much.
Wars of choice are really evil. That's my view.
Yep.
But what's interesting, and I feel that instinctively, but I also feel like theologically that's correct. I guess, like, what do I know? But I feel it. But you represent a district in Georgia that's very heavily Protestant Christian.
Mm-hmm.
It's free. Click the link.
I'm Protestant Christian.
Mm-hmm.
You are too.
Yep.
And there is a feeling among a lot of Protestant Christians, non-mainline, what we call evangelicals, I guess is the term they use, that we have a moral obligation to support the secular government of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
That God tells us that we have to fight these wars for the
Does he though?
secular government of Israel, not for the ancient nation of Israel or the Jewish people, but for the secular government.
That supports abortion and supports LGBTQ and trans. And
so two questions. One, what kind of reaction have you gotten from those voters? Many of whom are like some of the best people I know. I just want to say
they're great.
They're great.
Actually, since there's a bunch of new people here, as she talks about the LGBT stuff, I'm sure you're wondering, what does Alech think about that? I am mainly focused on keeping that shit away from the kids. I am not only in favor of you being able to live and love whoever you live love whoever you want and live as whoever you want. But I don't want to be implicated in your delusions. So that is a you thing. So I'm not here trying to say that nobody can be trans and that's the worst thing in the world. But leave the kids out of it and leave me out of it. Just in case
You've gotten from those voters, many of whom are like some of the best people I know. I just want to say
they're great.
They're great. And they're all your fans. But what kind of reaction have you gotten from them? And second, where does that come from, that belief?
I think, I'm sure some of them are mad at me right now. I can totally expect that.
Tell that to the detransitioners.
And understand it. And I'm sure we'll work it out. That's something I do know. I don't know where it comes from. I think, to me, what I've witnessed, just, from my opinion, it is embedded in our education system. We're taught all these things. We're, of course, taught about the Holocaust, taught about the nation of Israel. It's embedded in our education, but it's also embedded in church. It's embedded in church, and they take that verse back in, I guess it's Genesis
12.
Genesis 12. Bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you.
Yeah, there's.
So I mean, I made the face as a joke. With this, I have no issue bringing up religion because she's not pushing it. She's saying this exists within Christianity, which is a good thing.
I checked the other day because I had this interesting conversation with Ted Cruz, who said his theology was based on that verse. He had no idea where in the Bible it was and couldn't describe.
Depends on the trans.
Describe really what it meant. But that's his theology. Try not to be disrespectful, though I have no respect for it, I just want to say. But anyway, I looked at in my Bible, I checked 2 different translations. There's no word Israel in there. I don't know enough to know what he's really talking about. But
well, isn't Israel was name, right? Was it Joshua or something, right? I can look it up, but a bunch of you Christians, it's ma'am. Yeah. Wasn't when Israel's in the Bible, that's a name, isn't it? It's not like the country of Israel. All right. So does Maga also think that we have fast-tracked the road to revolution? Because I do, but I think it would be rural versus urban, astroturfed by billionaires. I would need to we would need to flesh that out because I don't think so in general, because I'm not specifically sure what you're talking about. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I would say generally not a sentiment that I've heard very often.
Right.
But that's very common for kids in Sunday school to be taught.
It's used in Sunday school, and it's used in Bible studies, and it's related to the end times. I've done those Bible study groups. It is very much tied into Revelations, and they walk all the way through.
Nobody knows Israel name in the Bible, no?
They tie it in with the covenant. They tie it in all the way. And look, I'm not going to pretend I'm a Bible scholar. I'm not going to pretend that I know everything. As a matter of fact, I'll sit way back in the back. I know who I am. I know I'm a sinner, and I'm not going to try to tell anybody what they should believe. But I've read my Bible. I grew up Catholic, and then I didn't like the pedophile priest issue. Didn't want to raise my children in that. So I left the church, and I'm just a Christian, just a simple Christian. And I've read my Bible. And the one thing I know is it says a lot of other things in there. It says, do not murder. That's pretty important.
Yep. And yeah, I was born into the Catholic Church. I was confirmed I went through all the sacraments. I was confirmed in the Methodist Church, and I always like to use it as a little bit of a thing to age me. But something that I specifically remember is because I was in my 20s, I was in college when I lost my faith. But my freshman year, that first semester, I was when we were still using AOL Instant Messenger and putting away messages up. I was putting Bible verses in my away message, and by the very next semester, I was like, I don't think I believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
Someone hits you in the face, turn the other cheek. If someone takes your cloak, give them the rest of your clothes. I mean, it's like, that's from Jesus. So Christians care above all what Jesus says, I think.
I do.
All right, and I think if generally what you're addressing is the idea that, certain things are happening domestically that is, you said paving the road, or sorry, I don't remember exactly what you said, but that are creating the circumstances for a revolution, and people are getting more ready to do something. I would say yes. I would say yes. From age 0 to age 21 ish. I had questions as any, smart person would, but never, I never questioned the existence of God. I never questioned that there could be such thing as no God until I realized that other people had, and they have pretty strong arguments. Amanda said in the Bible, the name Israel is first given to the patriarch Jacob. I was close. I knew it was a J name. Jacob, after he wrestles with a divine being. The name, derived from Hebrew, is generally interpreted as one who struggles with God. And that is exactly what, Can you say? Oh, yeah. So ChatGPT agrees. I knew it. Ted Cruz, you fucking moron. You fucking moron.
Jesus. So Christians care above all what Jesus says, I think.
I do.
How
Well, you're supposed to.
have we gotten to the point where you have sincere Christians who I think I probably agree with on everything,
Mhm.
on certainly most things, who people I love would be delighted to have dinner with. I mean, no disrespect at all to them. But how do we get to a point where good people like that are making the case that Jesus wants more bombing? What is that?
All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy, and come back and let me know what you think of Squid Game. I had some thoughts, some good stuff, some other not good stuff, but enjoy. Thank you so very, very much for stopping by. BJ said, I thought I must not be getting it, and it'll make sense when I get older, or that the adults had it wrong, but we'll get there. That's what I thought too.
Also, look at Jesus himself, who was persecuted in his lifetime by the leaders of Israel, the leaders at the temple. He was persecuted by his own people's leaders. And that's something to recognize. And all of the prophets throughout the Old Testament.
Well, so was Trump. Does that mean that Trump is the next coming of Jesus? I joke.
Who were they persecuted and killed by? The leaders of their day. It's throughout the entire Bible. So it's not uncommon that this would be happening. And here's what I find interesting. I don't think, America, if you've read Revelations, is not in Revelations.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to talk about that. And we need to say, why is America not in Revelations? And I think we could come up with all kinds of theories, but I know for a fact it's not in there because I've read that part too.
Yeah.
I'm very confused. And I admit it's my own ignorance. What the fuck is she talking about? That why would America be in the Bible?
Let's talk about that. And we need to say, why is America not in Revelations? And
Is that what she means? Like, why is the country of America not mentioned in the book of Revelations?
I think we could come up with all kinds of theories, but I know for a fact it's not in there because I've read that part too.
Yeah. I don't think John was aware in his cave on Patmos of the United States of America.
Okay. All right. I thought there were, maybe I was off base, but they're being a little tongue-in-cheek.
Well, and
right.
when he
Not
was
crazy.
given that entire vision and shown all of that, he wasn't shown America. So there's a clear reason, and we don't know why. But I think back to this story is Americans have been taught that they have to do whatever Israel says. And it's the secular government of Israel. The secular government should not be telling Christians in America what they should and shouldn't do with their tax dollars, with their military.
I agree with that.
And with who their allegiance should go to.
Boy, I got a lecture on Christian theology the other day from David Friedman, the former Trump ambassador to Israel. And I was like, not against David Friedman, seemed smart, but seemed a little much to be giving me a lecture about Christian theology.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also here's something else we have to recognize with people that are mad at me or mad at you about saying these things. We need to they need to think about this too, is hey, we all live in this house. It's called the United States of America. This is our house. And if we are giving our full allegiance to another foreign country who doesn't pay our taxes, will not pay off our debt, did not come and defend our southern border when it was invaded for 4 years straight, when its prime minister, Netanyahu, was the first to congratulate Joe Biden being president of the United States. He was the first foreign leader. I don't understand.
A country that has longstanding military ties to China.
Yeah, there's that.
Which runs the port of Haifa.
China.
I mean, I'm not attacking. Look, Israel's doing what it thinks it needs to do. I just want to say for the 50th time, I'm not.
We don't need to be involved.
Especially mad at Israel.
Not mad at Israel.
Mad at
our government for not being more mad at Israel. And I mean, Trump was pretty mad. So where's the rest of you?
Our leaders who don't seem to care about the United States. I think that's it.
And that's the problem. And that's where we are. We have this house. It's our house, the United States of America. And our elected leaders are not fully focused on our house and our...
Whose house? Or
problem
Wow.
with our children and their future. And that's why we are opening the door wide open to foreigners that have moved to the United States of America and profess insane socialist and communist views, and they are going to get elected. There's another one running against Nancy Pelosi, AOC's former campaign manager and chief of staff. And he sounds just like that mayor in New York. And he is a Democrat primarying Nancy Pelosi. So this whole thing the left is going to go in a whole nother direction because Republicans who professed America first are not solving the problems for our house.
Right. And Republicans refuse to talk about economics, like
America.
actual economics, not bullshit economics, GDP and tax cuts, but actually like, it's too expensive for my kids to buy a house. What are you doing about that?
Right.
And the answer is absolutely nothing, other than yelling.
Nerfing it all, just keeping the houses away from the younger generations. We, the boomers, are keeping the houses away on purpose. That's my house.
You're a socialist. I'm not insecure about being a socialist. I don't really care what people call me, but that is a much bigger problem than anything Iran is cooking up in its centrifuges, as far as I'm concerned. Certainly a bigger problem for everyone I know. My kids can't.
Like, okay, maybe bigger is the wrong word. I don't necessarily know that it's a bigger problem, but it absolutely is a more imminent problem.
Buy a house. Therefore, they can't get married and have kids.
Right. So think about this. Last week, our kids were just thinking about, I can't afford to buy a house. Where am I going to get a good job? All my friends can't find a good job. A lot of young women that are conservative are like, where am I going to find a good man? A lot of conservative young men are like, where can I find a decent young woman to marry? Because many of them are insane, have turned leftward, so far left.
Yeah.
So last week,
37 sexual partners, which
Put a number in the chat. What is the body count? If you were ready to marry a girl and you did not know her body count, and then somehow, because they're not going to tell you the truth, but somehow you find out for sure what her number is. What is the number? This is someone you're already willing to marry, and there's a number that that's too many. Obviously, if the number is 2,000, you're like, I can't do this. But 37. That's kind of rough, but you love this person. What is the number of partners that if you were already ready to marry somebody, that would be too high of a number to be like, nope, I'm out. I'm out. Yuri said, politics to the side, watching and defending kids being killed by the daily is fucking sick.
Bingo.
Yup. Yeah. Shout out to Bonnie Blue. Yeah, there's nothing in the world that could make me overlook having a small country worth of dicks inside of you. Nope.
saying have turned leftward, so far left.
Yeah.
So last week,
37 sexual partners, which, sorry, people just aren't into it. You know, who's into that? It's
not I. So there's all the, but think about it. Last week,
come on, MCG. I'm sure you got railed back in your day. Let's keep it a buck.
They were thinking about all their other problems that they already have, but they weren't thinking about, do I have to worry about a terrorist attack happening here in the United States? Yeah. Fast forward to this week. Now it's like,
thanks, Biden.
Oh my gosh, not only is life unaffordable and all these unknowns and all these problems I have, and my credit card debt is, my credit cards are maxed out, and I can't go on vacation, and I want to go with my friends, and I want to go to this concert, but I can't afford it. But now they have to think about, oh, if I do go to that concert, there could be a terrorist attack because we bombed Iran. It's like a whole nother set of problems.
I hate when people say a whole nother. I don't know why. It bothers me so much. PJ said with religion, so I got older, I couldn't see it as deep, and it has lots of flaws. So then I looked at philosophy. This is what I'm telling you guys. What it's all about, how I should live a life, and when it's all bloody pointless. Yes, it is all pointless. So make up your own point, make up your own purpose. And if that purpose is not to do the best that you can to improve this pointless society, then what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
And so, of course, when this guy that's running for mayor of New York City, iconic New York City, is talking to New Yorkers, and he says on the debate stage, when he's asked, what foreign country do you want to go visit? And the rest of them are saying Israel. And he says, I don't want to go. I just want to stay here in New York. Of course, they're going to listen to him.
Yeah.
It's the right answer.
I listen to him, and I don't want to be mayor of New York at all. I think it's so important that someone responsible and reasonable and American runs New York. But I guess in general, I just resent.
Or even if they're not American, they have to be in line with American values. aka not a socialist.
I resent importing foreign conflicts into our country, ancient race hatreds, religious, ethnic hatreds. What does that have to do with us? And I feel like we've definitely wholesale imported that. I get texts all the time from, some people I like, but, Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi telling me about some fight in US or Canada between different.
Nobody cares. And like there used to be at least an unspoken rule that if you're going to come to this country as an immigrant, that you were going to assimilate, that you were going to become one of us. And now that just seems to have disappeared, where it's just like you're importing your own culture and just carving out a couple blocks in New York City or a town in Wisconsin, whatever the fuck it is, where you guys are just living in a different country within our country.
Oh, hell
No, thank you.
Indian, Bangladeshi telling me about some fight in US or Canada between different Muslim or Hindu groups, and I'm not against any of them. I like them all. I'm not
sure.
But what does that have to do with North America?
Nothing.
And so why did other countries don't put up with that? You try that in the UAE.
Yeah.
This happened. You're some Pakistani worker building office buildings in the Gulf, and you like have a march through downtown Abu Dhabi saying, I'm mad at India. They're like, you're out on the first flight.
Right.
Back to Lahore.
Burning their flag.
Yeah, nothing personal.
Yeah. If you're out there burning their Indian flag, I'd love to see what happens to you. Yeah.
Well, the attitude of the Emirati government is that has nothing to do. Don't bring that shit here.
Right.
Even if we're on your side. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes. 100%.
You be on our side.
Yeah.
But okay, so in Congress, we have, I think it's 32 members of Congress are foreign born, not born in the United States.
See, I don't inherently see an issue with that. At a certain point, if you are the country of immigrants, and we constantly have people coming here legally, which is what we want, then eventually there's going to be people who are not born here who have been involved in the politics, and so the fact that you're not born here is not an issue to me. That's like a lot of people are, specifically Ann Coulter. I was like, I'll never vote for you because you're Hindu, you're Indian, you're brown, or whatever the fuck she said. And like that's some stupid shit. But if you weren't born here and you care more about the country that you came from than this country, then yeah, you should not be in office representing this country.
Really?
32. I serve with them. 32.
Well, I was surprised to learn that Ted Cruz is not American. He's like a secret Canadian.
He's from Canada, not Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Canada, does it border?
Now again, not the worst thing, but it doesn't say nothing. It doesn't say nothing.
Border Texas?
So not on the map I saw.
Okay.
So what we've learned today, guys, if you're just joining us, America was not in the Bible, and Texas and Canada do not, in fact, share a border.
So what is it? It feels weird even to ask you because I've spent so many decades studiously ignoring this issue. I don't want to engage. I think it's weird. So
Weird.
Always bothered me, but I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to fight about it. But it's been pushed. You can't ignore it. And you brought it up. Why are almost every single Republican I'm aware of, other than you and maybe Massey, is like in this weird kind of Israel worship mode all the time? And many Democrats, by the way, Pelosi.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that it is a holdover from the fact that the GOP is that was the default, I guess, that you just love Israel. The Bible definitely is in America, but not the other way around. Really quick, guys, let's take a little break. If you guys are enjoying the show, the party rages on 24/7 over in our Discord. The link is pinned to the top of the chat and is absolutely free to join 24/7. We're in there hanging out, having a great time. And guys, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below that video and hit that join button. Starts at $2.99. There's a few different tiers, but $2.99 will get you in. It gets you members only live streams here on YouTube, all that other good stuff. But it opens up the full Discord server. So we've got the free chat that is open to anyone. Anybody can join and talk. But as you can see, that is just one of our channels. There's a bunch of different channels here, including our Disciple chat for members only, our Word of the Day watch party, where we're talking about all this stuff. And of course, we have the voice channel here, where we are hanging out at this moment. Shout out to everybody in the Discord server. Say hello and tell them to come and join. There you go, guys. Simple as that. See you there. And remember, guys, all that other stuff is for members only. The free chat is for everybody, but everything else is members only. However, if you click the link at the top of the chat to join the free chat before the stream is over, you get a day pass to come and join us in the other channels and the after party, as you just saw, where you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You are actually on screen with me and everybody else, whether you want to cam up or not. Come and join us. Well, yeah, dum. Yeah, the Mormons definitely think that America is the central point of God's whatever, but Mormons, right?
Weird kind of Israel worship mode all the time. And many Democrats, by the way, Pelosi, chief among them. What is that?
So
well, and that speaks exactly. Bringing up Pelosi is underlining exactly what I'm saying. The Uniparty that has been in power forever, that was pro-Israel, full stop. And I mean, Trump is too pro-Israel as well, but that's why.
When a candidate steps forward and they're running for Congress, they get approached by all kinds of groups, all the special issue groups, everything from pro-life groups to pro-gun groups to Christian groups. And there's a group called AIPAC, and they come too. And
AIPAC? What AIPAC? I might have heard of that before, but AIPAC.
And so they'll have a survey form for you to fill out. Each group has a survey form because they want to know where you are on the issues, which I think is a good thing. I think Second Amendment groups need to know, hey, are you going to take away my gun rights? I think that's the right thing to be asking candidates. Pro-life groups, are you going to go to Washington and vote to kill babies? Like, we want to know who you are. I think that's great. Well, there's a group called AIPAC, and they come and they want to know what's your position on Israel. And they want you to write a paper, and they want to fill you out on your position on Israel. And then if you get elected to Congress, if you win your race, everyone's freshman year, AIPAC will take Republicans and Democrats, new members, on a special trip to Israel.
Do they pay for it?
I don't.
Of course they do.
No, I don't know, because they didn't take me. They didn't take me.
Were you the only one in your class who didn't go?
I think I'm the only one in my class that did not get invited. I didn't even get invited. It wasn't that I turned it down. I didn't even get invited. And I'm not anti-Semitic. I wish Israel the best.
Hey, shout out to the son of Matthew King. Hello. Good to see ya. Listen to your father. He's a smart man.
Wish them all the best. I wish everybody the best. But they didn't take me on the trip.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, but they didn't take me on the trip. So I don't know if they pay for it, but I should find that out because I think that's important. But here's the situation, and it can't be ignored, and I have no problem talking about it. I think any special interest group, if they are representing another country, a foreign country, they have to register that way.
Here we go.
Under the Foreign Agent Registration Act, FARA.
We have a law. Yes, they should register under that law. And I think, and their Americans are members of AIPAC. They're members. They donate to it.
Well, sure.
But if you're still an American and you were representing the interest of any foreign country, you still have to register.
Paul Manafort's an American. He's from Connecticut. I think he's from like Meriden, Connecticut or something. Wethersfield, Connecticut. He's from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And he was convicted as an American for not registering as a foreign agent, as a foreign lobbyist. So, I mean, the argument that it's Americans doing the lobbying, that's the point. Americans who are lobbying on behalf of a foreign country have to register. Doesn't mean they can't lobby. It's just, it's fair to have them register.
Yes.
So why?
Goes back to the NASCAR thing. I forget whose joke that was, but all these politicians should have to wear a jacket with all of their sponsors.
Hey, isn't AIPAC registered? Why aren't they registered under FARA? I don't understand that.
I think
because we have different rules for Israel because
everybody's too afraid to push that issue.
Why?
Tucker, I have no idea.
Because Tucker. Because
I think it's because it's such a strong group that will come against you. They will come against you. They will fund a primary against you. I'll probably get a primary funded against me for even saying this on this show. But you know what? I don't care.
I think you were getting one anyway.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, wrong button. There we go. Shout out to Amanda Price with the Canadian $2. Said Bubble sends his regards to the Overlord. The Overlord says, hello, Bubbles. Maybe one day we can meet. I'll cross the border and we can meet. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. Adding to the swole goal, guys. We'll call that, yeah, fuck it. We'll call that $2. We are at $42, $8, and we hit the goal. And then even after that, every $2 is a push-up. Guys, look how fucking puny I am. Help me out. And every donation gets more to a treat. Let's do this, guys. We are getting close.
You know what? I don't care.
I think you were getting one anyway.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm probably getting one. And that's fine. And my district can vote for whoever they want to represent them. They can.
It's just funny. It's like you and Massey are the only member, and the whole class, Republicans are the majority of the House of Representatives.
I'm really upset that Theo Vaughn's podcast company is so copyright heavy. Like even when, the Jubilee videos, when we cover the 20v1 or, atheists versus Christians or feminists, whatever, those always get claimed after the fact. So at least we can watch them and you guys donate and you're able to keep that afloat. But with Theo Vaughn, it'll yeet the entire stream. And that doesn't necessarily, it's not like a channel strike, but I don't think it helps with the algorithm. I would have loved to cover Theo and Thomas Massey, but if you have not heard it, definitely go check it out.
Massey are the only member, and the whole class, Republicans are the majority of the House of Representatives, majority of 435.
Yeah, both sides.
Well, 535 with the Senate. And I still think you and Massey are the only ones who've ever said anything like this.
I'm sure.
Rand Paul?
I'm sure we're the only ones. We're not the only ones that think it, but we're the only ones that say it.
So that's my next question.
But it's not anti-Semitic to say it.
Well, obviously. That's
because if I had a group coming to me and saying, we really want to make sure that you're voting to fund $3.3 billion, every single year to whatever, Switzerland. Exactly. That would be the same thing.
I love Switzerland. I have ancestors who can.
Guys, this is absolutely a free show. Nobody needs to donate anything. But if you're not going to donate, at least hit the like button on the super chats themselves.
From Switzerland. And I go a lot. It's just an amazing country. I couldn't support it more. I wish Switzerland well, as I wish Israel well. But if there were, maybe there is a Swiss lobby, I would, it probably is. I'm sure there is.
There's every kind of.
Hey, shout out to Indieville. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. I'm going through your paper about the Big Bang and whether it did or did not happen. We're having an interesting conversation. That is why you want to join the Discord. Welcome to the party, sir.
A Swiss lobby. I would, it probably is. I'm sure there is.
There's every kind of lobby.
Right. Not, they don't need the help, I guess, but there's Israel really, but I would expect them to register under the law.
Of course.
And I wouldn't be an anti-Swiss bigot for saying otherwise.
I mean, they've got the best hot chocolate.
No, I guess I don't really want to play along, but I'm wondering, this is all so very obvious and so rational and so relevant right now. Does anybody ever mention this in the Congress? I mean, you've been there for a while.
No, they have their blind faith and loyalty. Blind faith and loyalty.
Oh, like the woke do. There can't be woke on the right. Everything she's saying falls right into the category of woke if you just shift from the actual positions to the mentality, shutting down conversations, identity politics, blind faith to leaders. It's all the same shit.
And they're scared to say it.
What about the guy who showed up in a foreign military uniform?
Zelensky.
Well, there's that. Well, yeah, they worship. By the way, I just want to be clear. It's not just Israel that they worship. They also worship Zelensky.
Oh, they worship him.
There was another person who showed up to the White House in military garb? How did I miss this?
Oh, my goodness. They worship him.
Well, that's a clear.
But you should see the propaganda. I could go for days on that one. I went hard against that war.
Let her cook.
That war started, and it wasn't a month after that war started, and we had Ukrainian soldiers in their uniforms, injured Ukrainian soldiers on crutches,
tight-fitting uniforms.
Yeah,
a lot of this is
limping through the halls of Congress, going and visiting our offices, begging for help. We need help. Hitler is going to come and take our country and steamroll across Europe. Vladimir Putin. But that was the thing. Yeah. But so we get the propaganda that comes through the halls of Congress is incredible. It's incredible.
I bet.
But do you ever sit in the?
I bet you there's a whole other level of the the rhetoric and the propaganda that we deal with from the government to us. I feel like that is there's got to be a level of that behind the scenes as well. Shout out to Quality and Deference because vagina over on Rumble. Welcome to the party. Said liked and shared. Oh, thank you so very, very much again, guys. You know how much it's free. It's free to hit the like button. It is free to share the video. And it doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link just by you telling YouTube, show this to more people. They will show this to more people. Welcome to the party. So why do you hate America, Lutch? I love America. I profess my undying love for America. Molly said she doesn't know how to cook. Well, I mean, what use is she then, right? Welcome to the party. Amanda said, just because it's a different perspective doesn't mean it can't be woke. Woke exists both on the left and right.
Bingo.
Absolutely correct. Shout out to Taco Baco. Welcome. So I disagree with MTG on just about everything she stands for, but I genuinely think she's one of the only politicians that believes what they say. A brain-rotted clock is right twice a day. Yeah, I mean, I also disagree with a lot of what she stands for, a lot of what she says, but there's got to be something for being genuine, for not being a grifter, for not just pushing the bullshit. Welcome to the party. We also got United. Welcome. Yes, everybody here has been very, very generous. Welcome to the party. Let's dive right back in.
Incredible. It's incredible.
But do you ever sit in the, in the House and ever have someone say, we're voting on our 22nd Israel resolution? Like this is a lot, actually.
I did, finally.
But does anybody ever say again? Like,
no.
We have a country too. 350 million people live here.
No
one ever says that.
No.
So Nancy Mace is like, she's just excited to vote for another.
Colleague said it's a good thing. MTG, her name doesn't start with an S, because then she'd be STD.
Yes.
So it's not just, everyone talks about AIPAC. I've already said, I think they should register under FAIR. It's a foreign lobby.
It's common sense.
Not attacking them.
It's not even saying anything bad about them. They just should be registered.
It's insulting.
Yeah, and they can continue
that everyone's afraid to say that. You shouldn't be afraid.
No.
But
just like the woke, even though it is not offensive to say, hey, I think AIPAC should be registered as a foreign lobby. They say, oh, that's anti-Semitic. Woke.
Not just, there's something like, what is this? I think it's the weirdest thing. Brian Mast shows up in an IDF uniform in the Congress. I don't know Brian Mast. I'm sure he's a delightful person, but like, are you allowed to show up in a foreign military uniform in the Congress?
I don't think it's, I don't, it's like waving a foreign flag on the floor.
But they're all over the place.
But he served over there. And
I will never forget the first show that we did after the October 7th stuff. And like, I just had no idea about anything with Israel and Palestine, except for the fact that they've been fighting for a long time. And it was about religion, religion and the Holy Land. Outside of that, I didn't really know much else. And we saw that video of Ilhan Omar's district, and they were gathering together to wave Palestinian flags on, I think it was October 8th, actually. But it's like, God damn.
IDF, yeah.
How can an American serve in a foreign military and keep his citizenship?
I have no idea. It's the same thing as how can foreign-born people serve and be members of Congress? I don't understand how.
But serving in a foreign military, that's pretty serious.
Yes, you swear an oath and you swear your allegiance to fight and die for that country. You're saying, I'm willing to die for this country, but then you can serve in our country's Congress.
But how can you remain a citizen? If I go and serve in the Russian army, I assume.
Yeah.
You can't, bro. You can't.
I have no plans to. I'm not Russian.
No.
I don't want to. But if I did, I think people would say fairly, like, how can you be an American? Don't you forfeit your citizenship by doing that?
People would say, yeah, they definitely would go.
Unless it's Israel.
Go to jail for it.
Yeah.
But,
the New York Post mocked me and called me Moscow Marjorie and put it on their front page because I didn't want to vote to fund Ukraine. So clearly.
Moscow Marjorie.
Yeah, Moscow Marjorie. Yeah.
Funny, the New York, any Murdoch publication is just agnostic on most things, but really pro-war.
Oh, they love war.
Yeah.
Well, they love it. It helps their ratings. It keeps all the baby boomers glued to the television.
Yeah.
24 hours a day because they're terrified that bombs are going to fall on America. Something terrible is going to happen. You have to keep up with it. Funniest thing to me, Tucker, was how come? Okay, look, our country funded that war in Ukraine, funded it, and our military leaders ran that war. They have been all about that war. We fund their
all about that base. Sorry.
Our military leaders ran that war. They have been all about that war. We fund their government. We fund their retirement. We have funded their small businesses. The American people tragically have kept Ukraine afloat. But how come we couldn't watch that war on television? And I say that sarcastically because I think it's ridiculous. We could watch the Israel and Iran launching bombs at each other and exploding in their cities and people's reactions.
That's a JDAM, bro. That's a JDAM. Who knows what that's from?
And the nonstop commentary and counting missiles and how many missiles they shot down. But we never saw that with Ukraine and Russia. And I want to know why.
Well, I said we put the fun back into funding mass death. Kinda, yeah.
Why didn't we see that?
Well, now we don't see it. I asked a bunch of members of Congress, including the Speaker of the House.
Preach, Nick.
Disgraceful person, in my opinion. Mike Johnson, but so you funded this war with billions of our dollars. We're bankrupt, but you're paying for this war because you love the Ukrainians so much. How many Ukrainians have died? No clue. Not interested. They're not interested. Really, you're funding the war because you love the Ukrainians, but you're not even keeping track of how many of its young men have died, or now middle-aged men have died.
How many fathers? How many brothers?
How many people with Down syndrome? How many Ukrainians with Down syndrome were pulled off the street and sent to go die?
How many people over 40?
In a war that you were paying for? They don't care.
No.
That's when I thought, I'm kind of out.
Nobody cares.
Oh, totally out on that. But it's an interesting comparison. Why can you watch one on TV and you can't watch the other one on TV? And I don't know the answer to that.
You should be able to watch whatever you want on TV, right? Pull up pornography on your iPhone. You probably should be able to watch a war that you're paying for.
Right. But it's
hard to argue with that.
Isn't that just like, why is that? Why do Americans have?
Yes, we get it. Okay, it's stupid. Like, we agree that that's bad, and that shouldn't be what it is. We don't need to say it over and over and over and over and over and over again.
To be shown that Israel is about to be annihilated, and what are the consequences of that to America if Israel is annihilated? No, wait, let's say it like this: nuclear-armed Israel. Why do we have to be shown on TV 24 hours a day? Nuclear-armed Israel being bombed and attacked, and why do we have to be fed that?
Money.
When we're not fed that about any other war anywhere else.
Being manipulated, that's why.
Yes.
Nick said, no new wars. Can I get a hallelujah? I'll do you one better. I'll give you Dewey. No new wars. Quality said Tucker goes being completely reasonable again. Illegally nuclear armed Israel. Indeed. And a hallelujah from equality.
You have to be fed that. When we're not fed that about any other war anywhere else.
Being manipulated, that's why.
Yes.
Why all the flags, the foreign flags in the Congress? I was just up there last week, and every member has a foreign flag. Not every member, but a lot of them, the Republicans, all have Israeli flags, which I personally think is a beautiful flag. I'm not opposed to the flag.
No.
But when I was a kid, I went to Congress when I was a kid. There are no foreign flags. It's the United States Capitol. It's the capital of our country.
It's the capital of the United States of America.
What do you have one? A foreign flag?
My job title is representative.
Right.
I don't wear foreign flags. I wear the American flag.
So, but you're one of the only ones who doesn't wear a foreign flag.
Not many don't wear foreign flags. Yes.
That's so insane. Like, it's a small thing. But the not the impact, but the message of it. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Just be America. PJ said, I was going to start a YouTube channel. I was wondering if I could use footage like you are using here with no royalties, etc. So most things, as long as you are not just playing it and just like doing this and just having it go. Most channels are good because technically the law is that this is fair use. I'm transforming this. The reason that you're here is my commentary, not necessarily to hear what Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene are saying. And if you are, just don't tell me. And some channels are really strict with it, like Jubilee is bad with it. And like I was saying before, Theo Vaughn's company is even worse. I think they're on the same network as like the Full Send podcast and the Nelk Boys. Stuff like that you can't use, but more than likely, as long as you are adding your own commentary and breaking it up and not just playing, a 10-minute clip and then being like, whoa, that was cool, like they do on Twitch, then you will be good. And hey, let me know if you start that channel. I will be your first subscriber.
Who doesn't wear foreign flag?
Not many don't wear foreign flags. Yes. That's correct. Or no, they'll wear a pin that will have the American flag and the Israel flag together. And there's also pins that have the American flag and the Ukraine flag together.
I'm pulling this up for equality.
And then
are they the same country?
No.
Okay.
Contrary to what some people may believe.
Yeah. Okay. So does anyone ever talk about this?
No. It is widely accepted. It's an everyday part of people's attire. And then Democrats will wear many foreign flags. I mean, they've gone through Gaza, they've gone through Mexico, they've got Iran. Yeah.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, I think Mexico hates us much more than Iran does.
You know what?
I grew up next.
Mexico hates us more than Iran does? I don't know if that's... I put a one in the chat if you agree that Mexico hates America more than Iran hates America. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Boy, I think Mexico hates us much more than Iran does.
You know what?
I grew up next to Mexico. They don't like... I like a lot of Mexicans personally.
I got to tell you, I was in Mexico last weekend and it was great.
Oh, no. Well, Mexicans
Well, yeah, you were in Cozumel. Like, that's not really what we're talking about.
are great people. in my
Mexicans
opinion.
are great people.
I could not agree more.
And the area I
That's racism.
was in was gorgeous.
No, I'm saying the Mexican government.
Oh, the Mexican government. Yeah, enough of that.
Yeah.
But no, the people there, oh my goodness, wonderful
I
people.
agree.
They're bilingual. Their English is perfect. And it's not because they were in the United States. It's because they learn English and Spanish in their schools as they're growing up.
Sure.
The customer service was the best customer service I have had in decades.
Oh, that's speed. I'm sorry, quality. Yeah, I am responding to you, but they're apparently not showing up. But yeah, I was basically saying the chair react streamers are making all React channels because this is a React channel. I'm reacting to this this content. I'm not really giving you new information outside of my reaction to the content, but I'm not just playing a video so that I can get you guys to watch something that I want you to watch. We are having a conversation.
The customer service was the best customer service I have had in decades. And customer service is one of the things I'm really picky about because I grew up in a construction company and my dad's number one rule was customer is king. And so you treat the customer as they are the king. And that is how we will survive. That's how we will make money.
BJ, join the Discord so that when that starts, I can indeed be the first one to click.
Is we treat our customers better than anybody. And so it's a little thing I pay attention to.
It's a big thing.
I was blown away. I was like, everybody's saying hello to me every single day. They're asking me if I need anything. I mean, like everybody I walk by and I'm going, wait, this isn't what I was told about Mexico.
No, I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of Americans living in Mexico.
Oh yeah, they love it.
No, of course they
But
can.
I don't
They
get
can't afford to live in the United States.
But we don't have that kind of customer service.
That is a great point. Amanda said, I have an idea. Let's put Iran next to America where Mexico is and see what the results are. I would prefer Mexico being next to us over Iran. Maybe I'm crazy, but that is a solid point. Guys, don't forget we are $8 away from the Swogo 99 cents counts.
In the United States.
No, we definitely don't.
And we don't have that kind of mentality in our government.
No, I know.
So we have everyone I work with is going from dinner or cocktail hour
Actually, no, I don't. I don't feel like doing push-ups.
to some lobbying group, to some special interest group. They're invited to speak, so they feel honored to speak at these groups. And it's every single night or a lunch or a breakfast in Washington, D.C. And they're going and doing all these things. And then they're wearing their lapel pins or their little pocket handkerchiefs or whatever it may be representing foreign countries or tying them to the United States as if you could tie a foreign government to our government. That's ridiculous. And it's widely accepted and it's common practice and no one ever questions it.
So now you are questioning it.
Yeah, and so just going back to the React thing, because of the fact that I am adding to what they're saying, I'm opining on what they're saying. That is really all that you need under the law to use other content. But again, because some channels have a high standing with YouTube, they're like, no, nobody can use even 10 seconds of this. But most of the time, you are most of the time you're good.
Without hate.
And sorry, just tie a bow on this. And even if you're not fine, and you like if they copyright claim the stream, usually that doesn't even take it off the internet. It just means that you can't get money from it. Sometimes they'll block it, but very rarely are you going to get like an actual copyright strike unless it's clear copyright infringement. So react away.
Questions it.
So now you are questioning it. Without hate, I think.
Oh.
And you said like 5 times you're not mad at Israel, you're mad at American leaders who refuse to put their own country first, which I think is fair.
Right.
But I mean, you're going to get crushed for saying this.
Probably.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure they're going to try to find a primary against me.
Yeah.
That won't say the things that I say.
Yes.
And they're going.
Okay, but you did say Jewish space lasers. I mean, again, let's keep it a buck, honey. Let's keep it a buck. You've given plenty of ammo to your opposition.
Going to try to say that I'm betraying Trump when I'm not at all. I have spent millions of my own dollars campaigning for that man all over the country, like freely, just going.
Weren't you just with him the other day?
Yes.
I saw you with him somewhere.
At the White House.
Yeah.
Like
getting dick down. Just kidding. So we just ended our poll. The question asked by PJ, which do you prefer, Trump 1.0 or Trump 2.0? And it is a close split, but 53% of us, 53% of you said Trump 2.0, and I am with you guys. Matthew said, generally speaking, if you react to a 10-minute video, your video should be at least double the time. And of course, link the original video and credit the original creator. Indeed. Yeah. So if you ever want to watch what we're covering without my commentary, because I do definitely pause and talk a lot, then the link will always be in the description. Hey, another one. Again, Amanda Price coming through with the $2. Morty, very, very, very much appreciates it. He's hungry. Guys, I don't feed him. Unless you guys pay me. I'm just kidding. But Amanda said it's Canadian, but hey, it's a coffee. Very, very, very much appreciated. And I think that's like $1.70 American. So we'll round up and give it another $2, guys. $6 away from the goal. Amanda, thank you so very, very much.
Weren't you just with him the other day?
Yes.
I saw you with him somewhere.
At the White House.
Up.
Yeah.
Like you cannot make me not love. I love him. I think he's great and I support him. And I think he did a great job. I think it was incredible that our military was so well trained, the strikes that they made. And then President Trump said enough and he backed out of it. No other president would have done that. And the Congress is upset that he backed out.
There's squirrels, there's birds.
And Mark Levin's head.
Oh wait, that's Robin Hood Men in Tights. But yeah, I agree. And actually, what is it? Either Honest Trailer. Yeah, I think it was Honest Trailers just did an Honest Trailer of Spaceballs. I'm excited to see it. It's on my watch later list.
Other president would have done that. And the Congress is upset that he backed out. And Mark Levin's head is going to explode.
Well, actually,
on his
I have
show.
the quote, and I hate to beat up on Mark Levin. He's got enough problems, obviously. But so the moment the ceasefire happened, he said this: "I hate this word ceasefire. I really do." So how could that's so? I do think it.
He said Levin said that. Mark Levin. Yeah.
But so the moment the ceasefire happened, he said this: "I hate this word ceasefire. I really do."
You definitely need more context there because he's saying the word ceasefire. So why the word instead of saying I hate that it's a ceasefire?
So how could that's so? I do think it. Your worldview, what you're like as a person, what you love, what you hate, like that, it is important. And if you hate the word ceasefire,
Mm-hmm.
I hate the word like dead children or killing. But ceasefire, that's the word you hate? Haven't you? I mean, wow, that's
Right.
a heavy thing to say.
Yeah. So Mark Levin that is attacking you every hour on his X
I don't
account
care.
and attacking me and calling me names. And Fox News is tolerating that, by the way,
Of course.
which is, I think, atrocious and pathetic. Any other company, by the way, any other company would never allow their employees to go on their own personal social media and like verbally berate and attack and call names to people. That's
Nope. Shout out to Adam. Welcome to the party. So I loved him when he said we need to save Bibi Netanyahu from Israel. I mean, there is an argument to be made that the destruction of Israel could be under Bibi Netanyahu. I get it. Welcome to the party. We also got Arjun. Welcome. Always very good to see you guys. PJ said, who here thinks the ceasefire will hold? Let's make that a poll. You got some great questions. Will the ceasefire hold? Yes or no? And there we go. We were just talking about our resident lefty, Fox News. Welcome. We got a couple other lefties in the chat tonight. Welcome to the party, brother. Very good to see ya. So we got that new poll. Will the ceasefire hold? Good question. I have no, but wait. No, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's well. Good question. For how long? Okay, so let's give it 1 year. Let's give it 1 year. Will the ceasefire hold for? Is that too young? Is that too long? I think that's a good. That's what I'm saying. Like, so we'll go 6 months. We'll go 6 months. Because I know that's a long time. We'll go 6 months. Yes, no, or I have no. No, I'm gonna force you guys to pick. Screw you with your. I don't know. Non-committal. Pick one. What do you think? You have to be leaning one way more or the other. So we will see. We will. If we get no's, then we'll bring down the time. We'll start at 6 months and we'll bring down the time. Have you said no shot? No. Yes, the Iranian ceasefire. So it seems like 6 months, maybe too long. Let me see what you guys said. Trump said 60 days. All right, that'll be our next one. We will see.
and like verbally berate and attack and call names to people. That's a fireable offense in the real world and in the private sector. No company allows their employees to do that. Fox News is allowing Mark Levin.
Well, you can't fire Mark Levin. He's got such a huge audience. Oh, wait, no. Nobody voluntarily watches Mark Levin, of course.
I don't know anybody that watches Mark Levin. I'm sure someone watches it, but
I've only heard of Mark. Like, I don't know who that is. I've only heard him in the context of people talking shit about him with this stuff.
He's the great one, apparently.
Yeah.
But no, seriously though, it's the fact that he hates the word ceasefire is an attack on the president. That's a real attack on the president.
I don't doubt that he wants to attack the president. I just want to understand a good faith explanation of the context around that. So let's see. So what? No, let's go here. So when Mark Levin said he hates the word ceasefire, what was the broader context? Let's say recently relevant to Iran. Oh, I keep forgetting you can't do the enter button. All right, let's see what the GPT says. Yeah, okay, yep. The side quest banner goes up. Side quest. Let's see. Here's the broader context surrounding Mark Levin's strong words about hating the word ceasefire. So, obviously they struck soon after former President Trump. brokered a U.S. Mediated complete and total ceasefire between Iran and Israel. He said, "I hate this word ceasefire." On the Mark Levin show, radio segment in late June, he exploded over the announcement. He bluntly stated, "I hate this word ceasefire. The president hated it a few days ago too." He called for Iran to face unconditional surrender, asserting they'd lost their nukes, air force, and protections. Quote, "The supreme Nazi is hiding in the bunker. Adolf Hitler wasn't thrown a lifeline." Okay, let's keep going. Levin represents a hawkish neoconservative faction advocating military pressure and even regime change in Iran. No, thank you. This fire stance sharply contrasts with isolationist voices like Tucker Carlson and others. And hey, we got both of them who favor ending foreign entanglements. So I guess the broader context is, no, we want to bomb them until they don't exist. All right, bro. If that's your thing, PJ said before 60 days, something will happen. All right. So most of you are saying no. So then we'll go to the 60 days. Do you think? I can type. Think the ceasefire will hold? Jesus Christ. Hold for 60 days. Yes or no? What do you think? Another great question from PJ. Box said, "I would like to see a one-state solution where everyone has the same rights and the Jews are so afraid of letting Muslims into their government. That's what we call a pipe dream." Yeah, like a normal country. Well, that's what dogma does. That's why you should get your very own End Dogma shirt over at TheIndianJesus.com. You can get a t-shirt, you can get a sweatshirt, you can get all that other stuff we saw before, a sticker. You can only even get your own phone case only at TheIndianJesus.com. And dogma, it's really, really bad and leads to lots of fighting. ML? Oh, Mark Levin doesn't like ceasefire because it doesn't resolve the conflicts. I that sounded like where it could have gone. And I don't think that he doesn't believe this, but I just think he's wrong in saying that the only way to end a conflict is to blow people up. He's okay. Matthew said he's okay with dead babies as long as it leads to an unconditional surrender. And I am not. I don't know about you guys. PJ said BB is visiting the White House again with his wife, who likes to drink. Well, hopefully, if it's anything like when Zelensky came, maybe he gets a smackdown and we get some shit back on track. Fox said, "Tear down the walls, offer the same rights, live and prosper." What a wild idea. Yeah, but God told them they have to kill all the people. So that can't happen. Adam said, Netanyahu's going to the White House with to bend the knee and hand the keys of Israel over. Hopefully. But yeah, I don't know. But we know that Trump is a little too Israel happy. So we'll see.
Ceasefire.
But he did say he was man, and as Marjorie Taylor Greene loved so much, he dropped the F-bomb.
No, seriously though, it's the fact that he hates the word ceasefire is an attack on the president. That's a real attack on the president. Not the words that I'm saying. Not anything that I've said. Not when I said we shouldn't be doing this. That wasn't an attack on the president. That's going exactly with what President Trump campaigned on. Now, what?
Sorry, I missed out on anything.
Not anything that I've said. That's a real attack. The fact that he hates the word ceasefire is an attack on the president. That's a real attack on the president. Not the words that I'm saying. Not anything that I've said. Not when I said we shouldn't be doing this. That wasn't an attack on the president. That's going exactly with what President Trump campaigned on.
But I mean, it was a big part of Trump's campaign to say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Whether they did or did not, or whatever, is not really the point here. He said many times, Iran cannot have nukes. Bach said, I feel like mainstream media was goading him into round 2 by saying maybe he hit nothing. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Yuri said, y'all remember when ceasefire wasn't allowed? It was so controversial. Not it's anti-Semitism. Yep, well, that is, yeah, now it's, yeah, exactly. That is the woke right.
Wasn't an attack on the president. That's going exactly with what President Trump campaigned on. Now, what Mark Levin is saying, that he hates the word ceasefire, that is his attack on President Trump. That's him.
Oh, we shout out to Amanda and shout out to Freedom Tunes. It's time for another side quest. Come on. What are we doing?
I swear, if you two don't stop, I'm going to turn the car around.
Donald, don't get involved.
Ayatollah, I'm going to smack you. He started it.
No, he started it.
Ayatollah, that's it. In 30 seconds, I'm going to slap you. I'm warning you
Going to
so you can move your head mostly out of the way.
Don't do it, Donald. Just let them fight it out back there.
15,
Donald, my king, do not.
3, 2, 1, smack.
My
In 30
king.
seconds, I am throwing my juice box at you.
No, you are not.
I am warning you so you can avoid any damage. 15 seconds.
That's it. Both of you sit on your heads. You have 15 seconds to get your heads under your butts.
What are they doing?
Getting their last slaps in before the ceasefire. Good.
No more seatbelts. No more seatbelts for you.
Hey, we were back here hoping we could get those mass deportations now. This crap is really distracting him.
What? It's exactly what I voted for.
Putting the ultimate.
Shout out to Freedom Tunes. I will drop the link in the chat there. Definitely go subscribe to them. Great side quest. I like it. I like it. Diving back, and Bach said, the more you look into it, the more you realize you have no idea what they are fighting for anymore. Dogma. It seems simplistic and overly simplified, but it's not. God told me we have to do this, so we're gonna do this. End of story. That is what dogma does. It takes your brain out of the ability to think critically and do senseless violence. Guys, don't forget, $6 is all it will take to get me on the ground with the push-ups. And of course, a treat for Morty.
It's the word ceasefire. That is his attack on President Trump. That's him putting the ultimate disapproval, hate on what President Trump has done and that we are all so thankful and happy for. Peace is the ultimate thing that we should pursue at all times. Peace at all times, because it's good for every country and every single people. But Mark Levin hates it.
Well, peace is also the purest expression of strength. And I'm not.
That's such a Petersonian. Well, you know that strong. What does he say? Peace. Peace is the purest expression of strength. Don't you know?
You know,
I don't know why I put the "don't you know" on there. He doesn't say that.
Resurrecting the hoariest quote of all, "Peace through strength" from Reagan. Which, you know, there's truth in that. But peace is a byproduct of strength. When you have a strong father in the home, you got strong parents. The kids get along.
Mm-hmm.
You got some, you know, flaky Xanax head running the house.
Yeah.
The kids are out of control. There's chaos. There's fighting.
I do love me some Xanax.
That's right.
Like strength brings peace.
Yeah.
Dad's home. Knock that shit off.
We love that.
Yeah, but that's just
true.
That's a
yes.
principle that never changes.
Right.
And so, it's just funny that there are people. I just can't get past it. Like, I think it's important to say it because, like, you want your country to be good. You want its leaders to be good. You don't always have to agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
But if their main goal is to kill people,
Then they're bad.
I don't have any problem like watching Randy Fine, who's a member of Congress, I guess, from Florida.
Barely got elected, by the way, in a very red district.
In a very red district.
Very red district.
But Randy Fine, someone sent him. This is when I got off social media. I'm not looking at it anymore because it's disgusting. But somebody sent him a picture of like literally of a dead child, and he's like, "That's great."
Oh my goodness,
He said that's great. Jesus.
the most horrible thing ever.
But how can someone like that serve in the Congress?
I have no idea.
I think the real question is, how can somebody who's not like that serve in the Congress? That's the culture. So the goal is to get people who are not like that to serve in Congress.
He shouldn't be in
What
Congress.
God is he worshiping? He's
not
constantly talking
mine.
about God.
Not my God.
What
not your
God wants?
My God's right. My God's got the real answers, but your God is wrong. Isn't this how this all fucking started? And dogma.
What's that?
Nobody, no God. Well, there is no God but God, and our God does not want anyone
You sure?
to celebrate a dead child.
You sure?
So I mean, if I'm whatever that guy's name is, Mike Johnson, running, the Republican, Speaker of the House, I'm calling Randy Fine and being, hey, son, no, you're not allowed to celebrate dead children on your Twitter. Like, you're a member of the Republican Party in the Congress. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, no.
Did that happen?
I don't know.
Did
Not
any other? I'm sorry to be mean or so personal. I tried to interview.
Yeah. Well, I said, this is your brain on dogma. Yahweh is actually a pretty sick bastard. Or he was, not anymore. His son changed his mind.
Randy Fine, he canceled on me, but it would have been
That's a
interesting.
shame. He would. I think
I don't
his
be mean,
district,
but like, what do you even?
he should answer to his district for that.
I agree.
I have to answer to my district for everything I do and say.
But did other Republicans say, wow, this guy is one of us. He's part of the conference or whatever they call it. Conference, yeah. He's a Republican, a fellow Republican in the House, and he's celebrating dead children. Did anybody say, like, that's not?
I didn't hear anybody say that.
That's not my God. Isn't it though?
If someone put a swastika on their Twitter feed.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and they should. I'm opposed, just for the record.
Yeah.
I'm opposed to the swastika.
Wait, let me say, for the record, I'm opposed to the swastika.
Of course, but if you put a symbol of like hate and violence and killing children on your Twitter feed,
unacceptable.
The people who run your party would say something about it, right?
Oh, well, I got kicked out of, I got totally removed from all committees for things that I had put on social media or shared before I ever became a member of Congress.
Jewish space lasers. What? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Funk Master General hitting the goal all by himself. All by himself. $50 alone from our boy. Let's double up. Since it's not a peanut butter night. Another one for hitting the goal. Thank you so very, very much. Oh my goodness. That brings us up to $54. That means 26, right? 50, 20, I don't know. Fucking, you half as many push-ups. But thank you so very, very much, sir. And guys, don't forget, just because we hit the goal doesn't mean we can't add push-ups to the swole goal. Everybody put FMG in the chat. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
Things that I had put on social media or shared before I ever became a member of Congress.
But you weren't espousing violence, were you?
No, I was not espousing any type of violence.
I saw that and I was like, I don't have any choice but to vote Republican, I guess. I don't know who else I would vote for.
A lot of people felt that way. A lot of people felt there's no other options. Namely Dave Smith, who just said, oh, Trump should be impeached. Shut up. I love you, Dave Smith, but shut the fuck up.
Saw that and I was like, I don't have any choice but to vote Republican, I guess. I don't know who else I would vote for. Maybe I just won't vote, but I'm not going to vote for a party that is for killing children.
No, 100%. That's not what.
How could I do that?
Not, you shouldn't. I don't think anyone.
Oh, I forgot about that. Equality's heading out. Thank you so very, very much. You have a good one. Yep, we had, hey, when we say that Discord is a free speech platform, or my Discord server at least, is a free speech platform. Now, a bunch of us gave her shit because that's some woke, weird shit. But hey, you want to change your picture to a swastika? Hey, identify yourself as one of them. Weird. Yep, she went full Kanye. Actually, do I have the? Let me see. Oh, yep. Let's do copy link. Bum 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 bum. Cool, bro. So badass. You must be super cool. So based. Nope. She's white. Yeah, it's this. Well, I don't want to be like, overdoing it, whatever. But y'all seen what y'all seen. That's it. One FMG in the chat. What? No. The show is over. Unless I see FMG in the fucking chat. Let's go.
And should.
Huh. Did anyone talk about that in the hallways? Like,
No,
Randy
I
Fein's
hadn't heard about it.
nutcase.
You're the only person I've heard talk about it.
Really?
Yes. Honestly.
Nancy Mace didn't notice that her fellow Republican, Randy Fein, was putting "I love killing babies"?
No, she identifies as anti-Semitic. She's just openly like, yeah, the Jews. And it's just like basic. It's so vanilla. Like, at least when Kanye did it, it was shocking. There was somebody in the Discord server who is very woke, on the woke right, basically not so much of a white supremacist, but kind of inching there. And yeah, right, it's not illegal yet. And she identifies as a Nazi. And she's no longer there. She left. But hey, free speech wins again.
Honestly.
Nancy Mace didn't notice that her fellow Republican, Randy Fein, was putting "I love killing babies"?
I don't think so.
What about all the pro-lifers? Supposed pro-lifers. I believe in babies.
I believe the pro-life groups would be pretty upset about that.
You'd think. But silence.
The real ones.
But how many followers? Does anybody even know he posted it?
I don't know. I mean, about 9 people sent it to me. Like, what? I never heard of.
People are paying attention.
Randy Fein. Yeah, and every time there's a bombing, bombs away.
That's horrible.
For signing ordinance before it goes and kills people.
Celebrating murder, especially of the most innocent. I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible too. And there's very dark things for
I mean, you can be an atheist and oppose that. It's so obviously.
You're goddamn right. Thank you for the call out. I mean, hey, how often do you get a positive characterization from somebody on the right about atheists? So I'll take that. Thank you. It's almost pathetic that I care about that. But hey.
Repulsive. And I just think Republicans.
Let's hear it again.
Innocent. I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible too. Then there's very dark things for
I mean, you can be an atheist and oppose that. It's so obviously repulsive. And I just think Republicans, I mean, you're an elected Republican. I'm just a bystander who has voted Republican pretty consistently for 40 years. I think it's bad for I hate to use the word brand, but I
think it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, for the cultural representation of what is the Republican Party, what is MAGA, all of that stuff, it's not good. It doesn't reflect well, and it allows people who are political opponents to, I don't know why I put that in quotes. They are political opponents. They're not ops that we're trying to take out, but there are political opponents that can use a rhetoric like that to throw back against you. And because you are supporting that party, even though you don't support that notion, you got to respond to it. Can you imagine how insulted the veterans of World War II in Europe must feel with people running around using Nazi like it's got no meaning? No, I cannot imagine. As somebody who is not a veteran of any war, it pisses me the fuck off. I can't understand it. Yuri said they're anti-abortion, pro-genocide types. Bingo. No principles, just positions.
I think it's bad for I hate to use the word brand, but
I think it's terrible for the brand.
Yeah.
But that's what the election was all about. No more foreign wars, no more regime change.
Or so we thought.
No, the 13 soldiers that were killed in the Afghanistan withdrawal, that devastated the country. I mean, I think that
rightfully so
was like the nail in the coffin.
I think so.
It was, and we're still devastated over it. And those poor families and and there's, and the ones that don't get talked about, that no one talks about the soldiers that were horribly injured.
Oh, I know.
We talk about the 13, but there were so many horribly injured that are living with that today. That was the nail in the coffin. And to return back to it where our party is cheerleading it and apparently sharing the dead bodies of children and celebrating that and celebrating dropping bombs. It's like, I'm not attacking President Trump because I believe he did what he thinks is right, and how he's handled it is exactly what I want from him.
Yeah.
He has done it better than anybody. But the party itself and all of the talking heads, whether it's on the internet and on television, how they reacted was repulsive to me.
So I agree with I absolutely agree that if we're comparing the Trump reaction to the internet and TV reaction and the neocon reaction, clearly Trump is better. But saying that, what exactly did she say?
But it's exactly what I want from him.
He handled exactly the way I wanted him to. I mean, I'm kind of at a crossroads because I remember with North Korea, I was this was before I don't know if I was still like never Trump, but I still was not a fan of Trump in any way, shape, or form. And I remember the press conference that he had where it was like, if North Korea does anything, they're going to be met with fire and fury. Okay. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? It's a crazy dictator, and you're, going to get us into World War III. And then it worked. And now, again, I'm saying, hey, no new wars. I don't want this. And then ceasefire. And over half of you do think that it will at least last the 60 days. So, I mean, the example that I've used, again, I forget who I parroted this from, but how many times am I going to watch Donald Trump step on a banana peel and then do a backflip and think, oh, well, that was lucky. And then he does it again and he does another backflip. I'm like, wow, this guy's really lucky. How many times does that have to happen before you're like, I think this guy knows how to do backflips? Maybe the art of the deal is legit.
Him.
Yeah.
He has done it better than anybody. But the party itself.
Yeah, I mean, going through the DMZ was such a huge moment. It was so, I mean, obviously he was just walking in a straight line. I'm not saying that it was amazing that he could do that, but the fact that he would do that was brilliant.
He has done it better than anybody. But the party itself and all of the talking heads, whether it's on the internet and on television, how they reacted was repulsive to me, because they shouldn't have been like, yeah, we're going after him. It should have been like, hey, remember what happened to these 13 soldiers? And they're,
why are we calling MTG a fucking whore? I mean, she's kind of slapping his knob right now.
Families and these other soldiers.
Well, there should at least be some solemnity. It's a big thing to kill people. It's a big thing to drop a bomb. I mean,
solemnity. That's a word you don't hear often, but yeah, you should be solemn about that.
Maybe you think you need to do it. I'm not always right. I'm often wrong. So maybe I'm wrong.
Well, and
but even if I'm wrong, you still shouldn't be gleeful when you drop a bomb on people. What kind of freak are you anyway?
No,
Weird.
I think that's horrible.
Weird.
No one should celebrate that. Now, here's what we can say is, if the mission was successful and they really destroyed the nuclear program, then we can be really proud of our military. That is incredible. And we can be proud of the men and women that carried out that successful mission.
I agree with that. I still am wondering, from a place of ignorance, maybe the answer is no, but is there no other way that we could have done this without, dropping bombs? Maybe not. I don't fucking know. I'm not a military expert. I'm just some fuck in his living room. But still, even though it worked out well, it's like, did we have to go that way?
And we can be thankful for our president for keeping our country safe. If, we can go along and say all these things are true, but at the same time, when President Trump, and he went in hard and said, it's time for a ceasefire, it's time for peace. But yet we have Mark Levin over there pissed off on his radio show. And he's saying, I hate the word ceasefire. Like, that is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
And that's not who we are. That is not our movement. That is not America First. That is not MAGA. As a matter of fact, he took off the costume temporarily because he couldn't take it anymore. It was stifling. It was hot. He was sweaty.
You gotta let that lizard skin breathe. So guys, you guys have been amazingly generous today. So I'm gonna add a little bit of time to the stream, but we are coming up on that 2.5 hour mark. So if you would like to keep the party raging, then you guys know where the fuck is it? What the fuck? Where is it? If you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it. And again, every $2 is a push-up that will count to those push-ups that I gotta do. We gotta do it.
Take it anymore. It was stifling. It was hot. He was sweaty. You know, you can see the whole thing.
It's getting moist under the skin suit.
Very
moist.
Much. And he ripped it off and he admitted who he was again.
Yeah.
I hate the word ceasefire. And so I think it exposed so many people.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's really sick.
It's really sick.
Too visual.
I know it's too visual. It's just better to like have a normal personal life where you don't have to externalize all your weird fetishes onto the U.S. military.
Anytime I talk about Trump, I'm just like fucking dripping.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. Here I go again. Just once again, I noticed the connection between unhappy people and killing. I mean, there are many examples through history. Well-balanced people, wise people, people with a sense of the future, grandchildren, people like that don't behave like Mark Levin.
No, and regular people don't behave that way. As a matter of fact, regular people don't. They're so, again, back to being like, okay, we have all these problems.
Well, who decides what normal is? You're not in charge of what's being normal. We're a postmodernist, post-truth society. You can be whatever you want to be, and you can be blah, 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 blah. Shut up.
They're so, again, back to being like, okay, we have all these problems. My business, I want to grow my business, but I don't have any money to invest in it. You know, people that are saying, I really need to make more money. I can barely pay my mortgage. I can barely pay my bills. My wife's car is broken down. I can't afford to buy her a new one. I mean, these are real problems. This is the stuff that Fox News should be talking about, and Mark Levin should be talking about, and CNN should be talking about.
Oh, what the global shit is so much more important. Is it though? It might have larger stakes, but I think a lot more people care about their day-to-day life. Hey, shout out to Deep Tricks. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. So the word moist doesn't bug me, and neither does panties put together. I don't have a good button for that.
Haram!
Keep it in your pants. PJ said war. Lots of poor people in one country killing lots of other poor people from another country. And they may have been good buddies on a different time and different day. Yep. And why? Why? Because I believe that God told me to do this. God said that because you believe a different thing, that I must kill you.
Stupid.
That is low order thinking. Stop inbreeding.
And elected leaders, most of all, we should only be talking about that.
I know.
That's because my job title is representative in the United States House of Representatives. That's our job title.
Somebody said to me the other day, I don't know if you are an elected representative, so you have a much better sense of polling and where the public is. But someone said to me yesterday, the reason this push is coming now, when there's no actual evidence that they were days away, but whatever. I'm glad. I don't want them to have a bomb. So
no, we don't want them to have a bomb.
But why now? So Steve Witkoff, wonderful man, was on his way to Oman.
Always.
On last Sunday, and on Friday.
Another $50, I'll drop my panties. I'm also not wearing underwear, but I'll drop it.
Bombing started. Israel started bombing. They didn't.
But you have to be in the after party.
Ask. They just announced that they were doing it, and they did it, and derailed the talks, of course. But why the urgency? And someone said to me the other day, it has to do with the polling on this question. Mm-hmm. And the only people who support this kind of lunacy are in Mark Levin's age demographic. Like, it's older people, young
Our
people.
Our parents' generation, the baby boomers.
I hate to say that. Everyone beats up on the boomers, but it's well-deserved, if we're being honest.
My favorite is my Fauci. You don't know what you're talking about, Senator Paul. Okay, we were not doing gain-of-function research. In Wuhan, we were in the lab and we were taking the function and evolving it. We call it directed evolution.
It's a really selfish generation in general. But do you sense that like anyone under 40 is for this stuff?
Oh my gosh, no.
I take that back. There unfortunately are a lot of people who are woke, and therefore they fall in line with whatever bullshit they're told to think. So a lot of people watching Ben Shapiro and the like are gonna be like, "Yeah, we need to do this."
No, baby boomers primarily get their news from television.
Yes.
The Republican baby boomers watch Fox News. The Democrat baby boomers, they watch CNN.
Yes.
Or MSNBC or whatever. That's where they get their news, and that's where they receive.
And that's why our country's in the shitter.
All the propaganda fed into their head.
Yes.
About what they should think, what they should believe, who they should support, how they should vote, when they should protest, who they need to be mad at. It's all there on television for them. But
don't forget about Facebook. Oh, Facebook is a force to be reckoned with for boomers. Guys, that is the 2.5 hour mark. So if you want to keep the party raging, go for it.
So I'm 51 years old. I'm Generation X.
Right.
So then after that, there's the millennials, and then there's Gen Z. That's our kids. Everybody from my age down is like, enough of this crap. Everybody my age down is sick of it. They're fed up, but they don't get their...
Shout out to Maureen. Welcome to the party. Said, love her. Thank you for speaking up against APAC gangsters. Hell yes. Welcome to the party.
They don't watch TV. They don't have the TV on the living room 24 hours a day and fall asleep to it while they're...
So you don't know any 28-year-olds who are like, yeah, Ron's nuclear program is the biggest threat we face, and we need to affect regime change if necessary.
I do.
Absolutely not. No, 20...
How many people under 40 are you talking to? Genuine question. I'm not saying you're not, but nobody.
8-year-olds are pissed, and they're lost.
Yeah.
And they're defeated.
I'm 35, but I'll lump myself in with 28-year-olds and say, yeah, a lot of us are pissed, but a lot of other people. And I will say, to her point, I think if we compare the key demo versus the boomers, you're going to see way more support from the boomers. But that doesn't mean that there's not some hawkish young people.
And they don't know who to turn to fix these problems.
Yeah.
And they're facing problems we never faced. And
I don't think so.
So no, the 28-year-olds are like, oh, great. Now I've got to worry about this too. Like, what does that mean? Am I going to be drafted? Like, what does that mean? They don't want to have anything to do with it.
No, it's totally true.
It's insane. And so think about it like this, Tucker, in the next 10 years, or maybe a little bit longer.
Oh man. What an interesting question. I am much more of a Tim Pool person. I was actually a paying member from winter of 2021 until maybe like 3-4 months ago. Love Charlie Kirk, hate Sam Cedar. We're talking about Konstantin Kisin from Trigonometry. I don't hate him, but he injected himself in the woke right conversation and teamed up with James Lindsay to kind of obfuscate the semantics around that. So I don't love him, but Charlie Kirk and Tim Pool, very high. I hold them in very high esteem. But I did have to rescind my membership from Timcast. Just over the years, I found him around 2017 or something when he was, doing on the ground reporting in Sweden. Remember, he was talking about the no-go zones, and I was really in favor of what he was doing, and I was watching him for a while. And I was like, okay, as soon as the membership started, the website started, I was like, yo, I'm in. But just over time, he's done a number of things that just I don't hate. I still like him. I still listen to his podcast, his videos and stuff. But the doomerism is a little too much. I think there is an aspect of being the head of a company that affects how he views himself. Maybe not how he views himself, but because of the fact that he has to run shit, that he feels like the things that he says are automatically more right. And I don't know, it's just we're just not so aligned anymore. So it's not anything that he did super wrong, but so it'd be Michael Knowles. I do like Michael Knowles, but the Daily Wire is kind of the new Fox News. I think the Daily Wire is the new Fox News. So it's like, I'll take Michael Knowles, and I do like Matt Walsh, but again, the Christianity there is a little too much. I'm not really followed Asmongold until recently. Hate Hassan Piker, and don't really like Ethan Klein, but I am fucking rooting for him in this lawsuit. I've been following along with all the drama, and I don't typically pay attention to those people like Denims and what's the other one, Frogan, and I don't usually pay attention to those people, but the drama that has been created is amazing. Adam said, "Poole is a fool. Kirk is a simp." Fair enough. Fair enough. Shout out to Sammy73. Said, "Pig farts Israel." Fair enough.
Tucker, in the next 10 years, or maybe a little bit longer, our parents' generation is going to pass away. And by the
All right, guys, we're making it to the end of this chapter. Unless y'all keep the party raging, and then it's time for the swoggle.
time that our parents' generation is going to pass away. And by the time that entire generation has moved on, and the bulk of it, sadly, has passed, because that's my mom.
Oh, brother. Hassan. Hassan. Oh.
And was my dad. And when they're gone, and that mentality and those, decisions made in Washington based on all of this neocon and fighting for foreign countries and fighting the foreign causes and sending the foreign aid and all of this foreign garbage, once they're gone, we're going to be decimated and desolate because we will have never poured back into our own country.
Yes.
And Taco, I think that's fair because we expect. That's why I don't hate him, because I think it's natural to, as you're building a company, as the political landscape changes, as you start a family, all these things are going to affect how you see the world. And as a single guy who doesn't have a family and doesn't have a lot of money like that, again, we've just diverted too much. And yeah. We got another one from Denmark. Shout out to Denmark. Dilly to Denmark. Shout out to Dan Jensen if he's out there. Back in the day, he would be here every single time over from Denmark. Denmark has some great people. Welcome.
Desolate because we will have never poured back into our own country.
Yes.
And then we're going to have our generation of kids who at that time are going to be in their 30s. It's going to be really hard for them.
No, I totally agree.
And so that generation will be gone, and Mark Levin won't get to put his opinion on anybody.
No.
And it won't matter anymore. And I don't even know if people will watch TV anymore. Who knows?
Of course not.
No, they're going to be sick of it. I mean,
put one in the chat if you still have some version of cable or satellite TV or, like the way we used to watch TV as opposed to, Netflix and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Hey, shout out to the true disciple. Welcome to the party. Avery in the building. Oh, old man Avery. Wait, is it cable or satellite or what? Cut that wire, brother. Cut the cable. Welcome. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. BJ said, I got a pretty good view. So yeah, I'm more the left. We can learn from each other, and you'll be glad you learned from me too. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Come join our Discord. I think you would be a great addition to the community. I said, doesn't Denmark toss midgets for sport? I think I have heard that before. Can we get a confirmation on that, Sammy, please? Dietrich said, I don't trust Denmark. No one should have their shit together as much as those people. They are up to something. Love it. All right. Welcome. Yeah, link is pinned, guys. It is free to join, and you get a day pass for all the membership stuff if you join while the stream is still going. And we are finishing this chapter, and we are headed to that after party.
And I don't even know if people will watch TV anymore. Who knows?
Of course not.
No, they're going to be sick of
do we count that? I don't really count that because, like, if you have a Fire Stick, you can get, cable channels on that, but that's not the same thing as, getting Optimum or Comcast or one of those. So,
Anymore. And I don't even know if people will watch TV anymore. Who
No, of
knows?
course not.
No, they're going to be sick of it. I mean, I think they're already sick of it. People are checking out.
We're going to get radical politics.
apathy.
But I think it's going to be before 10 years.
When I was a kid,
It should be 2 clicks. You click the link and then you click accept invite. If you already have a Discord, if you don't, then it's accept invite, and then you just put in either a phone number or an email, and then you're done. Very simple, very easy. If you're not familiar with the structure, we are happy to show you around. It's basically just a glorified group chat with different channels and a voice channel. That's the long and short of it, but we make use of it. Maverick said, I don't trust her. Who trusts her? I believe it was Taco Baco, the one of our resident lefties, saying that it's not necessarily about disliking her because of the fact that we do trust that the things that she's saying she actually believes, and that's got to be worth something. That's got to be worth something. That's Australia. There you go.
I went with my dad to Venezuela, to Caracas, and it was probably late 70s. Great town, great city. It was biggest oil reserves in the world. It was a rich country, beautiful, super nice people, beautiful women. It's just great. Caracas, Venezuela was great.
The women. Oh, don't we love the women? Dietrich, so I thought about getting an antenna box, but then I thought, won't people think I'm poor? Yes, the cashier did when I couldn't afford the $15. Oh, my goodness. Maverick said, look how Tulsi U-turned. Yeah, I think there was a level of trust that we put in the Pete Hegseths, the Cash Patels, the Dan Bongino, the Tulsis of the administration to kind of not be bogged down by the establishment. And perhaps that was naive, but I still think they're better than what we would have had in the alternative. So we can definitely have our criticisms, but at the end of the day, if you honestly think that a Kamala Harris presidency would be better, then we've got a lot else to talk about. Yeah, both of you, come on through. All right, guys. It is time for the swole goal. Let's do more next. Why not? All right, guys. You paid me. Now it's time to pay yourself. I've got to do, what is it? I got to do the math here. I'm stupid. What do we have? $54. That's 25, 26. 27, right? 27 push-ups. Right? That's what I'm doing. I don't care. If you can't do 27 push-ups, do 25. If you can't do 25, do 10. If you can't do 10, do whatever you can. Pay yourself. Let's all get swole. 27 push-ups coming up. Let's fucking go. Woo! 27. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 1 for good luck. Let's fucking go! And that is how we do it. That is how we do it. Who else paid themselves? Come on, Nick. We know you can do it. We know you can do it. But in the meantime, a big, huge shout out to all of the donations. Of course, Bookmaster doing work. We got the Canadian money in there. Thank you so much. And our boy coming in clutch once again. Thank you so very, very much, guys. Again, you still have time to click that link and join the after party. Either way, if you want to join after the stream and just be in the free chat, we spend a lot of time there. It is a great place to just hang out. And the way Discord works, the more you type and the more you talk, you get experience points. And so if you reach level 15, I will give you the permissions that all the members have, because this isn't about money. Obviously, as we were talking about before, I need money to live. That's just how the world works. But I'm not trying to get rich off you guys. I'm trying to build a community so that we can fix this country and at least get to a better spot than we are right now. Hey, shout out to Nick. Yes, the after party is in the Let Us Speak channel. I have just joined. Make sure you guys are there, because you guys have lives. So if you're not there, I'm not going to beg you, hey, come hang out. I'm going to assume you take care of your family. You got stuff to do. But every single time, if you guys are in there after the stream, it is my promise to you, as true disciples, that I will be there. I see Avery in there already. So let's not keep our true disciple waiting. Guys, thank you so very, very much for hanging out. Big shout out to the donations, and a special thank you to the disciples and Avery, our true. Guys, that is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka TheIndianJesus. Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it, dropping videos almost every single day. Hit that subscribe, ring the bell. Until next time, guys, we are...